Gentlemen, we're live.
Yo!
How we doing?
Hello. Doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How's life in the big city?
In the big city.
Well, in New
Is that where
York,
we live now?
it's pretty good.
I don't know. Do we have anybody that we know? Just asking.
You know, Fran and Julie were both like born in New York or something like that.
Wow.
Interesting.
So I do
Special.
know two people.
It's good. Let's call them up on the hotline. See how it is life in the big city. What up, Cole?
Call them.
Hey
How's
guys,
everybody
you're
doing
live
tonight?
on the Katie ratio. We want to know.
We turned this into like a
Radio
like
show.
a crappy radio show.
Your lucky number caller 3. Tell us about your day.
Imagine we put a phone number. Lines are open. We just wait. Don't say a word until a call comes through.
Just sit in silence.
The technology is not with us. Okay, we just watched episode 2 of Daredevil.
Well, episode 3, technically.
Or, yeah, that's,
No.
it's even in the title. That's 3, so.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I enjoy courtroom dramas, and that's essentially what this episode was. So to me, I was happy with it. I am itching for some combat and fight scenes, but like I said, I like courtroom dramas, and that's a big part of Daredevil to me. And sometimes the show doesn't touch on that, so I was happy to see them touch on it a little bit, because I
Yeah.
feel like it gets overshadowed a lot sometimes by like the drama of the crime families. Or
I think
stuff.
it's coming for sure, but this is also like an 18 episode show.
Wow.
So like
Okay.
it's like it's a slow burn for sure. But I'm right there with you. I even said before the episode, I'm kind of itching for like some just classic, like Daredevil stuff. But they're taking their time with it. They're kind of like really milking this like, should I or should I not go back into the fray type of thing.
mask.
So I can see both ways on why maybe this wouldn't be for everybody, but I do think that for me it was effective for sure. As much as we joke while watching it together, I did like this episode. I think for me though, it's probably, this is still a positive thing, but it's probably like a 7 out of 10 for me. What about you?
I would probably. It's hard to do it in a vacuum.
We
As
have
of-
to, I mean, we
yeah.
have to rate them as they come
As
out
of
because
right
that's our
now,
only context.
I'd probably say 7.5. 7.5. Because I don't want to ding it just because I wanted to see action. I thought as a courtroom drama, I thought it was pretty well paced, and like it was enough to get me engaged in, like, is the jury they're talking to the jury, and then they're giving their final speech,
yeah.
Closing.
closing. Yeah. I do think there was some inconsistencies with how a courtroom actually works.
I mean, every TV show ever.
Yeah. So, but I would say 7.5. I know Billy is going to be the contrarian here.
10 out of 10, baby.
That would be super contrarian. With the context of he hasn't watched any Daredevils.
And that's the thing is
That's a huge struggle, right?
So it's like,
But I honestly don't think that I'm that. I don't think I'm that. I'm not like a one-off. I think this is a market segment that they should have targeted or tried to target.
well,
Go ahead.
I'll touch on it now. Well, I was doing research after last week's episode, and I guess there was a bunch of rewrites in Daredevil. And part of the rewrites is the show wasn't originally written for new watchers, or was it the reverse?
no, it was originally written as a standalone, like, reboot of Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
And it tested very poorly. And they went back and basically they swapped out writers. They brought back old faces. And because the main consensus is people are upset that it basically just ignored the first 3 seasons. And so they did their best to try and make it a true season 4 rather than a whole new show. But the Daredevil we saw in like She-Hulk, that would have been much more in line with what they were thinking of. Like a real in the MCU kind of over the top comic Daredevil. Comic book, not comedic.
Yeah.
Comic Daredevil. And they kind of double back on that. So
Okay.
I don't think the other one would have been successful if they'd have done it their original way, just with how kind of Disney's been churning out their Marvel projects lately. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe it would have. It's hard to say.
But yeah, sorry. To interrupt.
Don't ever do that again.
You do it all the time.
I do. I'm sorry.
So that's why. No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like there's a good percent of the population that really never watched the original series because it wasn't really puppeted as this MCU thing.
That was on Netflix.
Yeah, you had to be a fan of the comics and stuff, and so maybe this has much more of like an endearing audience where it's like a lot of the OGs and maybe it's not targeted at MCU people, but it's on Disney Plus now, and I don't think that they're making it for me. I think they're making it for you guys, someone who watched all the prior seasons, which lines up with what you said, where they revised it and kind of made it play in line as this is season 4 effectively. But like as someone who didn't see it, with all that being said, I'm not really impressed with Daredevil. Like this was a whole episode that was dealt in the courtroom where he's supposed to be this kind of big dick swinging lawyer. All he did, in my opinion, as watching the episode was make mistake after mistake. Like the things that he set up, he got this confession, this guy to come in, and then that guy bailed on him because he got scared, so he didn't properly protect him. And then he totally burned his client, which ultimately got him killed. You know, without his permission. So at this point, I'm watching that and I'm going like, this guy's not even that impressive of a superhero or lawyer or whatever you want to claim it. And so it's just kind of like I don't know who am I rooting for in this, because this guy is kind of sucks right now. He's like not really making good decisions. He's screwed over his client to his death, who left behind a young family. You know, and didn't do a good job of actually like everything he did as a lawyer, like kind of failed. And as far as I'm concerned, even in the closing remarks, or closing arguments, when at the end, I thought that the police officer's lawyer did a better job of like really making the case. His was just more of like, he's a great guy. Like it didn't like land home, and it wasn't this big speech that landed. So for me, I'm sort of left with Daredevil as this character of like, why do I really care about you? Because he says you're not that impressive. You're not drawing me in to be like, yeah, let's fucking go. So that's sort of where I'm left at. I think the show is fine. It's not like a bad show. I think the writing is definitely adequate. Kingpin's an interesting character. But the show is definitely not geared at somebody coming in and I think watching it raw like me.
I have a couple thoughts on that because I don't actually entirely disagree with your statement. I think so far this has been kind of a poor showing of Matt Murdock. I could be totally wrong on this. I do think a lot of this is intentional, though. I think it's his arc that's being built because he's going to realize how much he's failing.
He gets back in the game.
And I think that's what gets him back in the game, because he knows that he's the one that got White Tiger killed, is because of his failure as Daredevil, but also his failure as just Matt Murdock, the lawyer. He ended up taking that wild strategy that paid off because White Tiger ended up having a certain renown with the New York public, enough that basically that's what got him off. But if he was a better lawyer, he never would have had to do that to begin with. And so I think that this is, I could be wrong. I think this is intentional. I think it's building up in his own arc on how he's going to make a return on however that might be. I also wasn't a huge, I think the pacing, I think is where it fell from like an 8 to a 7 for me is it was very predictable. I think we all knew what was going to happen from the very beginning. We all knew he was going to get off, and then as soon as he did, he was going to get shot. I thought he was going to get shot as he left the courtroom.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Yeah. Well, we already spoiled.
The whole thing is a discussion. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, it still pissed me off when that happened because they did enough with this guy to make me care about him.
They telegraphed that, yeah.
Yeah, but it was not a surprise that it happened. Like, there's always that part of me that wished that I hate when people go out without a bang. I would have liked to have seen him at least take like 10 dudes and then die or something, But that's the nature of the show. They are, as they're grounding it in reality as much as you can. If you're going to kill someone that has superpowers,
You don't fight him.
you don't fight him. You wait till he doesn't see you and shoot him in the head. That makes much more sense than, because White Tiger effectively is not quite, but he's almost like on par with Captain America and stuff. Like he's
Wow.
At least in the comics, she is super agile, not as strong, but so it wouldn't make sense
Super
to jump
soldier
him.
level kind of.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense to jump him when he has that amulet on.
Yeah.
So what happened is exactly what would have needed to happen to kill him. You just walk up and shoot him when he's not looking. So that makes sense, but there's still that part of me was like, damn it.
Come on.
Yeah.
No, I 100% agree, Kyle. We'll have to see, but I think that's how we're supposed to feel with Matt right now, is frustrated. And I think it's supposed to come through that he is still dealing with Foggy's death,
Yeah.
and he hasn't dealt with it. He's just like, he's like, the whole scene at the end where she toasts Foggy and he doesn't say anything. I thought it was meant to be show that he didn't, I don't know, he's not okay. And I think we'll have to see, but I think that's how we're supposed to feel, is that he didn't do a good job, and now he's going to beat himself up about it. He's going to go a whole arc, and then
We could be totally wrong.
it could be.
But I think that's my gut is telling me that's what they want you to feel right now. And like I said earlier, it's an 18 episode. This is the longest series they've done. It's 18 episodes, so it's a lot of time to develop their story. Longer than any movie. Each one's like an hour, so they kind of have to take their time a little bit. We'll just have to see what happens. I think everything will come. Action, a lot of things will get revealed. But it is a slow burn right now for sure.
Yeah, like I said, I just think the expectation is that you feel that decline in his, because he's struggling with maybe the death of Foggy or whatever. So you see it on screen, but also I was reading into this the last week after we watched the first two, how long it's been since the first season. I know you were talking, or since the
5
season,
or 6 years.
Yeah, it's 6 years, 2019, since we saw really Matt Murdock on screen on Netflix.
Would you ever be interested to go watch the?
No.
No.
Okay.
Why not?
Because there's so much content out there, and there's other stuff that I'd rather watch.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Severance though, and Loki, and I do that to you guys all the time, so I can't fault him for saying that because I'm probably never gonna watch Severance. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Damn. With that, I don't know if you're missing anything. Like I said, it's a good show, and I'm really enjoying it, but it's not mind blowing in this. It's just a show that piques your curiosity.
There's so much of everything out that it's hard to waste time with stuff that you don't know you'll even like yet or not. We're getting overwhelmed with the amount of content that sludges through everything.
Mm-hmm.
So much content, which makes marketing for these things so expensive because there's so much noise. You're competing against everything. You know what movie I just saw that you probably didn't even hear about? Mickey 17.
No, I heard about it.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. I wanted to watch it. I haven't seen it yet, but it looked really good.
I went and saw it with my dad, of all people. We were just driving around. We're like, let's go see a movie. We literally old school walked in, kind of picked the movie, and went and saw it. It was between that and Last Breath. I don't know if you guys have seen trailers
I haven't
for
heard
that.
of Last Breath.
Yep.
That's with Woody Harrelson and Simu Liu.
And they're underwater divers.
It's based on a real true story. That's the movie we wanted to see, but it was already sold out.
How's Mickey 17?
Yeah, how'd you feel about it?
It was
It looked quirky.
definitely quirky. And it was a lot of okay. I'm not going to spoil anything, but this was my feeling. The first third of the movie, I was laughing, I was having fun. It was silly. It was fun. It was great. Then it had one of the worst stalls I've ever experienced in a movie. To the point where I'm like, wow, dude, just like what gets like land something. Like what do we it just got so cold so quickly. And it was like over an hour of that, and we were just kind of watching. You're like, okay, I get it. Like, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it was like, okay, like stop playing with this theme. Like, go back to what you did at the beginning because there was so much comedy. It was fun. It was silly, and then it just fell flat. But then the ending was kind of cool. But that's just how the movie flowed. Overall, I enjoyed it. The sort of the scientific quirkiness of it, like the sci-fi side of it is like makes you think,
Yeah.
When you walk out of there going like, I wonder how much you do value human life if you have the ability to just sort of at a whim print up another human clone and impregnate. It felt very Altered Carbon-esque.
Okay.
I got a lot of those types of vibes. But what's his face? Oh my god, I'm blanking.
Robert Pattinson?
No, the Hulk. What's
Mark Ruffalo?
Mark Ruffalo plays a character that's him and his wife are so insufferable, and it wears on you because
Basically Mark Ruffalo in real life. No, I'm just kidding.
they literally like the whole second act of that movie. It's just like, oh, dude, this is like stop. It's so weird. My dad kept looking over me in the movie theater like, the fuck did you bring me to?
Sorry, Dad. You were
This
not a
movie,
man.
But like the first third, we were laughing. There's a couple really good jokes and smart things, and it was kind of funny to see this. He signs up to be an expendable. I mean, that's all part of the trailer, and he goes through crazy shit because they use him as an expendable, and it's fucking funny some of the shit that he goes through. But then it just like it goes from this really cool concept to what the fuck? Okay, that's weird. It just like silly writing choices. There's bugs, and all of a sudden he learns how to talk to bugs through this little thing. After about a minute and a half of like translating, he's like, they make noises. Bleep, 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 bleep. Oh, cool. I made a machine that can translate for you. And you're just like, okay, now he's talking to the aliens. And it's like, what?
Huh.
You're just like, this is some shitty writing all of a sudden. What the fuck? It was like the first third was so much fun. And then the middle third sucked. And the last third was okay. But man, yeah, just so weird. So weird. Definitely not a movie I'll ever see again.
No.
But I'm glad having watched it. Let's just say it that way.
Feel better, man.
It was just interesting. I like pondering the question of if the material side of life gets solved is there any value placed on it? And in that world, the answer was very clearly no. So, I mean, this was in one of the trailers, so there's no spoiler with this, but he's like doing a spacewalk, and he thought he was supposed to be fixing something, and they're like, no, we actually just wanted to see the effects of you burning to death outside in the, like with the radiation exposure. So can you just take your spacesuit off? And he's like fucking burning to death, and then he gets hit by a fucking like meteor or something flying by, and his hand gets ripped off, and it's floating, and they're like, whoa. This is gonna be great research to review. And they're just like so disassociated from him, but he's still dying. He just gets reprinted out, so it's so weird. But yeah, very. And Pattinson does a phenomenal job. You would never know it was him. But
I think he's a great actor.
He's a
honestly.
great actor, but it's an acquired taste, the natural cadence he uses to speak in this movie, because he sounds like such a dimwit.
Where he talks like that.
Is that kind of him?
Well, he has a different accent every movie. That's like his thing. He like says he always wants to play characters that are so different from himself that like he doesn't take it home with him, if that makes sense. So, like another example of a movie where he has like a really odd accent choice was called The Devil All the Time, and he plays like this creepy like southern priest or like pastor, like like Southern Baptist pastor in like the 50s. But he talks in like this kind of weird high pitched, like just really emasculate, like like he embodies like just a creep.
Yeah.
The way and that's another one where like I was like, so that's the voice he's sticking with. Okay,
Yeah,
like, that's his,
it's
all
an
right.
acquired taste, and I can't say I got used to it because it was like, oh man, it was kind of annoying. It was like really unnatural, and it would also fade in. It wasn't always really consistent. I don't know. So 6 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for the topic and the curiosity. 6 out of 10 for the actual film coming together.
I probably will wait for it to like start streaming. I don't
Yeah.
think it's the kind of thing that'll get me to the theaters, but I do remember watching the trailer thing and it looked fun. But yeah, I haven't been to the theaters in so long.
I did hear a drunk guy in the bathroom at a bar say, "Just went and saw Mickey 17 on the phone. You gotta go see it. It's great."
It's incredible.
So
It's gonna win the
Okay.
Oscar.
Good luck.
So maybe you just didn't drink enough.
that
It was a Saturday at like 11 a.m.
hey,
Uh-huh.
5 o'clock
Saturday.
somewhere.
Saturday. It's the
Saturday.
weekend.
That's right.
Day drinking exists.
For a reason. Mickey 17 is that reason.
I hear at AMC's, which we don't have, they actually you can order stuff to your seat, and they'll bring you
What?
drinks and stuff. I don't know how all that
I
works.
feel like that'd be distracting, all those.
Well, I know that, but I
You
feel
just do it
like
throughout the movie?
I know they always go, get off your fucking phones. But the walls behind, like the sections of how these reclining rooms are
At least
set up,
that's
I
really
don't think you
Victorian.
can even
Yeah.
see. Like if somebody was on their phone, like if they turned their flashlight on, you probably could see the light, but their screen, I don't think is bright enough to.
The only
really
time I
bother
notice
someone.
it in those seats is if it's somebody to my left or right.
Okay, so that would still obviously apply. You're right with that.
Yeah.
But no, I've seen back when I was in the investment world. I just had a flashback. This is crazy. Back when I was in the investment world, we got pitched this idea, and I think they ended up building one in Texas. But it was this. Basically, their whole pitch was malls and things like that are transforming away from legacy retailers, like boutique stores, to entertainment centers, and people want to go and have an experience. They want to go out and have an experience, but movies are sort of pulling back because there's just so much content at home that you can access. So what their whole idea was, they wanted to do like a dinner and a movie package. So you would go, and it was like an upscale dining thing. And then you would translate from that you would go into a room and watch a movie together. And so it was like the whole night. That was your adventure that night. It would be like a 4-hour event.
I could see
So
that
you do a
being
2.5-hour movie and an hour and a half, dinner or whatever. And then it was like a set menu and stuff like that. We didn't end up doing the deal, but I think they ended up building that in Texas. And the photos that they had generated and stuff looked really cool. It was like a really cool business model idea. And like in off hours and stuff like that, like for big movie releases, that's sort of how it would be, like a set menu. It would be nice, whatever.
And there'd
But
be a theme menu probably too, like
oh, probably
Mickey
They
17.
could have
This is
fun with
Mickey
it.
16. You're
Yeah,
eating.
yeah, that would be kind of fun.
You're eating one of the Mickeys.
But but the sort of the draw was they still had theaters if you just want to go to theaters, and you could just go to the restaurant, so you didn't have to do the whole package. But it was this joint thing they could share in alcohol sales, and it was this whole thing where you could go and you'd continue to get service, like high service, while in the theater. And so I don't know how that would translate, but I've heard AMC you can order drinks to your seat, which I don't know how that works, but
I'd be more upset if like the guy next to me was ordering
And the
a bunch
waiter
of
keeps
stuff
coming
and they
back
kept walking in front of me during the movie.
what if they did? What if they had it built like a sushi, like a traditional sushi restaurant, where
like
the
a
waiter
belt
could
in front
come,
of you?
no, like behind you or something, to where like the waiter could walk up to the aisle and just sort of send it down, and it was real quiet.
Like
and
they
you
could
just
walk
kinda
up
grab
behind
it.
the person without anyone seeing them and just lower it over
Yeah, or
the...
something like that.
Or what if you did? What I'm thinking, if you did the movie and a dinner, what if you're in like your own cubicle, like in
Like a booth, like you're at a theater.
yeah, like at a theater, like you're in your own booth.
Yeah.
So that way, when they come bring food out, you're in the semi-enclosed space, or it's just a private screening area.
Let's...
How much would you be willing to pay for that, though? That's the question.
If it's dinner
I think
and a
that's pretty
movie,
niche.
Right? Like,
I feel like that's not
would
like
you be willing to pay $35 a ticket to go see a movie because you get a private booth? Like, a booth would still not be as comfortable as a reclining seat.
Yeah.
And those are $20. So you're stepping it down in quality for service. And I don't want service when I'm watching a fucking movie. That's me, but my wife is like, she wants the popcorn, the cookie dough shit, all that stuff,
Where's the cookie dough shit?
Well, I want the cookie dough, let's be honest. But it's, like she wants the snacks, so maybe someone gets thirsty, I don't know. I don't, yeah. It was an interesting concept.
I could see it working. I think dinner and a movie would be at least over 100.
I feel like it's...
Way over 100 per person. Like, going to a dinner and a movie now, like, even just at a normal restaurant, it's like a $150 event.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, that's true. It's just $150. Like, you're paying $70 to $80 just to go to dinner. That's with, like, that's maybe cocktails, maybe not, probably not. An appetizer, 2 dinners, and a nice tip. Like, that's what dinners are these days.
Yeah.
It was $83 for my dad and I to eat at Texas Roadhouse. And I got a 11-ounce sirloin. And he with a tea. And he got a filet with a tea. It was $83.
Yeah, I can see it.
No extra stuff, no appetizers, nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck?
Where?
Texas Roadhouse.
That don't make
Steakhouse.
sense, Billy. I just went there and my meal was like $36.
For you?
Yeah.
Okay, double that with 2 people.
That's 60.
Plus the
$36 is $72.
Plus tip. You tipped only $2, right?
This guy over here.
I was like, actually, this is
I'm like,
adding up
I don't
perfectly.
feel like it's way off.
That's way off, Billy.
Did you
Okay.
think you meant he said 80 per person?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I thought.
No. But yeah, just like a commercial restaurant. I know it's obviously steak, so it's a little bit more, but it's not crazy. And then you go to
Well,
dinner.
it's Texas Roadhouse, all right? It's not like,
Yeah, it's not like some high-end, highfalutin steakhouse.
Yeah.
But then you go and you get the tickets for the movie theaters. Those are generally at least $20 a pop if you go to Galaxy or whatever. What is it? Fandango still is really cheap, like Century. You can still get really cheap tickets for like $10, $11. But it's not, you get like little lower quality food options, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But then at Galaxy you get, so $45 for the tickets. So you're already at $125 there, and then concessions. If you get even a box of popcorn, and
That's
maybe
why I only pay
a water,
for one.
it's like $30.
I pay for movie
$20
or I pay for dinner.
when you go on your dates.
If
Like
so movie date is definitely second or third date, not first date.
Good for you.
And then I will do it if I have to, but usually they feel like obligated to, and I'm not going to stop them, especially if I already paid for dinner. And then they're like, oh, I'll get the movie. And I'm like, okay. Please do.
So you really slow play it until they pay for it. As they should. Shit's way too expensive to just go, yeah, you you got to cover all these different,
3-star
different
Michelin
dates.
restaurant.
Texas Roadhouse, definitely not a 3-star Michelin.
Have you tasted their butter?
Texas Roadhouse?
Like their cinnamon butter?
Yeah.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
3-star Michelin for that butter.
I'm doing this dumb
How
fucking diet.
right?
And I couldn't
Michelin
have
is
any.
how far you would drive, or some.
Yeah. 1
right?
star is like if you're in the area, stop. 2-star is like make it a, or if you're already traveling to the city,
You
like,
should go.
You should go. And then 3-star is you build a trip around that experience.
I mean,
So,
that
at
was
least
the
a 1-star.
original idea, but that's not what it means anymore.
I also am not a fan of what Michelin stars stand for these days. Like, I've seen some of, like, I've looked at a couple different places because I'm like, oh, that'd be really cool to go and experience at least once. The place I looked at, which is in Northern California, the dinner was I'm not kidding you, 37-course meal.
What?
And I saw some of the photos and reviews and stuff of what that experience was. You were getting like droplets of things. I don't want to eat like that. Give me 5 or 6 courses where I'm actually having something of substance.
Yeah.
Because you walk out of that night, I bet if you ate dinner, went immediately to your hotel room, and then wrote out how many courses you remember, you're remembering 12, 15.
Yeah.
You're remembering all 37.
Yeah. It feels like a restaurant where after you're done, you're like, damn, I'm still kind of hungry. Want to go Taco Bell?
Yeah. And it's also like 4 or 5 hours, which I'm down for. I'm definitely a foodie, but I don't want 37 courses.
I am not down for a 4 or 5 hour dinner experience. That sounds like actual hell on earth to me.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I enjoy food quickly. I don't like sitting and like.
Well, it would
and,
keep
like,
because
even if it keeps coming out, like that's just like I can't sit for that long. That's not fun to me. Like I
we
gotta
get
be
really
moving.
great company.
Even then, I'd be like, all right, where are we
We
going
do
now?
podcasts for like 2 hours.
I know, and I get antsy. My legs are always up and down.
It's like,
People
I
have
gotta get
accused
the
me of
fuck
doing
outta here.
drugs, and I'm like, like.
Yeah, Cole, 37 courses. It just doesn't even remotely. One of the chefs, the angry one, the one that trained Gordon Ramsay, like Marco Pierre White.
Marco
Is that
Pierre
his
White, yeah.
name? He had a whole like really interesting take on this. He felt like there was too many courses in modern Michelin stars because you can't control like the heat or whatever. Like it basically gets cold the moment because there's just you don't have enough matter to store heat. So it gets cold right away, and it's just like a whole element. I don't want to eat 37 courses because I'm not going to remember. Yeah. I want to have. If you're going to serve up salmon, give me a piece of salmon.
Give me just one meal.
That's phenomenal.
That'll change my life.
Yeah,
like
seriously.
not
Some
like,
some of the best meals I've had are one item.
Yeah.
I think that's the mark of a good dinner experience is how much you remember the one meal. I'm not nearly wealthy enough to know what it's like to go through a Michelin experience.
House of
obviously.
Prime Rib.
House of Prime Rib. That's all they do. They do
But I
prime
don't-
rib.
Yeah.
I came in, I got a salad and a prime rib. That was it. And it was expensive, but it was delicious to the point where I still talk about it with you guys. So that's what I'm looking for in an experience.
Well, and not only that, but House of Prime Rib, you're looking at $100 a person, $120
roughly.
a person. To go to a Michelin star for the one that I was looking at, it was like $800 a person.
Not worth it.
It's not. It's not to me.
I just bought a mattress for about $1,000. That was worth it.
Has it came?
Yeah, it did.
Is it totally
Did
worth
you
it?
come?
Oh yeah. Yep. As soon as I saw it, it was crazy though. It came in this box. It was all small, and I was like, "Man, did I order the wrong thing? Like, is this just like a mattress?
Is it like
topper?
purple or mattress or?
No, I was like,
Casper?
it's just like a top or whatever. But it's like half memory foam, half like traditional or whatever. So it's like what is the brand name? I did like 1 minute of research. I literally looked and I looked at the top rated mattresses from like 5 different websites, and this one was either 1 or 2 on every website. And I was like, all right, good enough for me. And we bought it.
For
And it was like
$1,000,
the
sign you up.
Dream Cloud Premier or something like that.
Okay.
So anyways, I opened the box and it's still like tiny.
Vacuum sealed.
And I'm like, man, what is going on here? I take my knife out and I cut the plastic.
No, you
I didn't
didn't.
cut the mattress, if that's what
Okay.
you're afraid I was going to say. No, I was careful about that. So I cut the plastic and it literally is like, it explodes. And
That's what I was worried about.
With the knife?
Yeah, that's literally what I was
I
worried
get
about.
like knocked to the ground. Like
Yeah.
it opens so
There's like a
violently.
million warnings to not do exactly
And I was like,
that.
I was like, fuck it.
I could
Do it live.
You have to roll it out so it's flat, and then you cut it, and then
Yep.
it fills up.
I didn't
'Cause
read the instructions because that's for
Pretty
chumps.
sure there's warnings everywhere, all on the fucking.
I
box.
didn't read a single thing.
Those have like killed people, dude.
It was king size.
Fucking thrown into a wall.
Yeah, luckily I had some awareness to empty out the bedroom before I did it, so I didn't break anything. But it opened so violently and so quickly, and it was like, and like opened to like mattress size, all in like the matter of like 5 seconds, maybe, if that. It was so quick.
Dude, have you ever watched a video on how the machines that they use to vacuum seal those?
No, I can imagine it's crazy though. After seeing it firsthand, like I don't know how.
Like the amount of suction power that those things had to just completely flatten. And think about the force that it had to throw you across the room. It's crazy.
Probably the same as like a smoker's been smoking for 80 years, right?
What?
What?
The amount of suction power.
A smoker that's been smoking for 80
I'm
years?
joking.
Really? Like,
The
I don't even
joke
think
landed
your joke
real
makes
flat.
sense,
We'll
but I
just
don't
go
even
on.
think your joke makes sense because a smoker would
It
have really
happened
bad
to-
lungs.
No, they have.
inhale.
No, so my grandpa.
They have strong lungs.
They have strong inhale because they've been smoking the whole
World class sucker, your grandpa.
time. Yeah,
Wow.
but yeah,
Sucks
so
in
that's true. But now you guys know, and the joke's ruined, so it didn't matter.
It was really funny, Dylan.
Well, I still just
I appreciated it.
they're really good at inhaling. Wow. Your grandpa could inhale.
Yeah,
He's a deep breather.
was on those cigarettes.
Mouth breather. Wow.
So now we're just laying on a mattress on the ground floor because our bed frame is still like 4 weeks out.
Damn.
But we got that one. We got in person. We got that at more furniture for less.
For less?
Yeah, if people were wondering.
Add more.
We have to have a very unique criteria we're looking for because we can't have anything that our cats will get into. Like, so it has to be all the way to the ground. So we ended up getting this one that had storage and stuff underneath.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm just thinking of like a metal frame. No.
No,
It's
we
a
got like an
whole-
actual, like, this is our
That's awesome.
maybe the rest of our life kind of.
It's being made in Sweden right now.
Boy, how bad did they try to sell you a mattress?
Actually,
I
I had a
fucking
really
hate
good
those
experience
stores.
at
Did
Moore.
you really?
Yeah. I've had terrible experiences at like Ashley and RC Willie.
So bad.
We've gone there and it's like worse than a car lot. It's
Worse.
so
Like,
bad.
hey, you.
so worse.
This woman that we were dealing with at More Furniture for Less, it sounds like we're sponsored by them. We are not affiliated with them. But this woman that we were dealing with, she came in, asked what we were looking for, pointed us in the direction of some places to look at, and then said, if you need anything, let me know. And then she checked on us once every like 20 minutes. You guys doing okay? Cool. And it was
Love that.
very chill experience. And then when we got her when we were ready, seamless, did the whole thing in like 5 minutes. And then we're out of there. And it was a great experience. But I know exactly what you're talking about because we got our couch at Ashley and it was like
The worst. Fuck. Ashley's
they
the
were
worst.
like coyotes that smelled a wounded dog. It was so bad when we walked in.
I walked
like-
into. So my parents went in there, and this was when I was like going into an apartment, and we had already had our furniture. We were just looking to waste like 2 hours because we were waiting for something. We walked in the store, and there's a line of sales reps at the door waiting for you.
Yeah.
And they start walking around like we made it very clear we're just wasting time. We're just like putzing around. I go, my back was hurting this day, I remember, and I go and I just like laid on one of their mattresses in the backside and like way in the back. And I was just sitting there, and another sales rep that was in the back of the store was like, "Let me show you how this thing works." I'm like, "No, I'm okay." And he's like, "No, you got to feel this infinite or zero gravity because it was one of those beds that moves or whatever." And so he like puts up the feet. I shit you not, like he's talking to me. I said like 3 words to this guy. He's like 30 seconds into raising the feet up and getting it to the 0G. It's perfect for your back, whatever. The sales rep that met us at the door comes running from the back of the store, looks at me. I thought we were working together, bro. What the fuck? I'm not buying anything, dude. I literally was this close to just cursing them out. I'm like, I fucking hate these stores. Do you realize how insufferable you make it to shop in here?
I would have, even if I knew I wasn't going to buy anything from the start, I would have made them feel like that little thing that they did made it so I didn't. I'd be like, well, now I'm not buying anything. And I would storm out.
It's what bothers me about all these like executive sales classes and these dumbass influencer douchebags that you see all over YouTube all the time.
Yeah.
Like, especially with the car dealership guy. Like, I see that fucking asshole all the time. I think you know probably the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But he's always like trying to give you. Those are designed for other extremely extroverted people. You will make any introverted person so uncomfortable they will run away from you.
Yeah.
That's 50% of the population. Get the fuck out of my face. You're not making a deal for
do
me.
not want to get sold to. If they want something, they will set an appointment and they will be specific about what they want. They might be open to a conversation only then.
They have
Yeah.
done
Like-
research.
And if you sit there and you come in hard like that, I'm bouncing. I'm not even dealing with you. I'm bouncing because I'd rather deal with it somewhere else or literally order it online.
Yeah.
You offer me no service. I'm going to a store and I go, that's a nice couch. I'll take it. Oh, great. 15% for me. What? You do nothing.
Yeah.
You do nothing. What is their job? Why do stores actually think that, do they make money that way? Like, it's not like you have repeat clients. Like, I got client list. Like, no, you don't. You sell furniture in a commercial retailer.
So I don't know exactly how they get these numbers, right? But because I do think that pretty much anyone born after like 1990 doesn't really like being sold to. But sales tactics statistically still earn more of a net profit than not using sales. That's why companies still do it. As shitty as it is, I do think that will slowly die off, though. It's just
I'd argue, like, look at Walmart. You got a fucking guy hawking around. Hey, we got brand new eggs. Come on back. Check out the eggs. You know, like, oh, look, we got a new thing. Like, fucking retail's retail. I don't, man. I think it's like I think it's it's just a dipshit chief executive something, you know, that's like, we've got to get aggressive with our sales tactics. And they just set ridiculous, lofty numbers. And it's like, it would just be organic and happen regardless. You just be there to support. The whole aggressive mentality, you're literally cutting off business.
If I had to like work at a place like that required me to be that hungry as a shark, I would be so depressed.
Yeah.
Like I would take it would just like really suck to have
That's
to
why
do
I've never
that.
wanted to be like in real estate or any like.
No.
Cole says I totally ruined that sales guy's day.
Yeah, he's working with you, bro.
He didn't even look at the other guy. He's like, I thought we were working
As
together,
if
bro.
you were the problem.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking
You're
about?
over there like trying to get a fast one over on the salesman. You're
No
like,
shit.
Hey, this other guy, he told me he'd get it. Can you do better?
Yeah, what the hell? You know? I remember I walked out of the store. I was like, I'm waiting in the car. I'm like, I fucking hate this place. I hate this place.
So how do mattress stores that are just mattress stores, how do they stay open?
How does it stay open?
Mafia.
They're
Yes.
usually cover-ups. It's like, have you seen Sopranos? He works in waste management. Like,
It's gotta be, right?
It's like splitting rocks, mattress stores.
every person I've ever known that's owned a mattress store, which isn't a lot, but I've known 3 of them. They're all a little
You
strange.
know 3 people who own a mattress store.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a lot of people who own mattress stores. Are you involved? Does
Yeah.
he know the business?
Is he one of them? No.
Is that why he was talking about that they do generate a higher net profit? He's in the business. We've evaluated this. He's the chief executive that's making the call.
That's me. I have no money to show for it.
It's at Kyle's
But you're breaking even.
Bed Emporium.
Oh, fuck.
But it was so much nicer to just buy a mattress online.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Like and have it mailed to me. I didn't have to talk to anybody.
See, so you bought yours online. So how do they stay open?
I think furniture stores aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
Furniture
because
store, yes.
What
Makes sense.
you know what it is?
But like the specific mattress stores,
They don't trust like reviews and the words of other like when it comes to furniture, which I think is actually fair to
gotta
some
sit on
regard. They need to see it.
Yes.
They need to feel it. They need to like,
Gotta
you know,
fart
and I
on
think
it.
that's still true for mattresses.
I don't know if that's a fucking criteria. I need fart on this, man. Sir, you're gonna have to wait for me because I have to fart on this thing. Does it bury or does it clip? Because my wife is gonna hear me, and if it buries, it's fine.
And there's a certain inconvenience when it goes, because we have a return window of like a year for this mattress, so that's why I wasn't too concerned. Because if you return, they send their guys to come pack it up and take it away, everything. But there's a lot of people that I think when it comes to mattresses, furniture in general, that's why I think the store isn't going anywhere, because people need to like experience that before they buy it.
For me, I don't like the all foam vacuum sealed mattress myself, because from my friends who have used it, like, because I looked a lot into like Casper and Purple mattress, and they're all like sort of the similar product.
Right.
I like hardware in my bed, like springs and stuff like that, because I like a really firm mattress. And with the foam ones, like even our good friends, ordered the extra firm mattress because she likes the exact type of bed that I do. And within like 2 years, it was already just like, it was
Slumping?
it was like a memory foam, which is still comfortable, but I like a really firm mattress.
Yeah.
And so like for me, I don't even know if, I'm sure you could order that type of bed online. But it's not the same.
Kyle said his was like a hybrid.
It's the one I ordered specifically it's a hybrid. The top layer is memory foam, and then it has the springs underneath.
It has both.
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that. I haven't looked for a mattress in 7 years, so that's new. That's really cool.
This is our first
So you got hit
new
with,
mattress we ever
you
bought.
got hit with expanding fucking foam and spring
Yeah,
action.
it was.
This guy's lucky to blow his legs out.
I actually got thrown to
Concussed?
the ground. It was not like it was a whole thing.
You're lucky the knife.
What the fuck?
Then I literally my whole body went like this. So
I
the knife
guarantee
just
you the
went
plastic
flying.
wrap is like warning, 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 warning,
Yeah.
all over it.
Kyle's like,
Like printed on. He's like, don't worry, I didn't cut the mattress, and I'm just like, that's not what I'm worried about, and exactly what I
Don't
thought
worry,
he
it's
did.
only exactly what you think.
No, I didn't cut the mattress. I just threw myself across the room and hurt me. Got hurt. You didn't get hurt, but oh shit.
Laid on it and also, I have like my hips hurt. Like,
From that?
no, from like
The old mattress?
we had. Like I would wake up just sore all the time, and for the first time ever, I woke up in the morning with no pain, and I was like, "Oh, is it working? Is this real?
is this heaven?
But this is the first time. And
Is yours firm?
It's I would say it's more like medium. It's not like
okay.
yeah. But this is the first time we've ever bought a mattress. The mattress we've had since we moved out together was a hand-me-down that we got from her grandpa. So we were like, let's just do it. Like let's get something that's like not not old and like falling apart.
Yeah.
And it was relatively, because I know how expensive mattresses can get. It really wasn't that bad. Like mattresses can get so expensive. There's like one that my parents were looking into that was like 10 grand, and I'm like, that's so much for a
Jesus.
mattress.
I once YouTubed like the most expensive mattress ever, and it's like it's like $130,000, and it's made with real horse, like the mane, like it's their hair from that.
That's
And
just gaudy. That doesn't even seem.
Yeah.
they like come out and service your bed, like they'll professionally tune it and fluff it on a yearly cadence or something like that.
Well, I mean, for that price,
It's a
Is
whole
it
thing.
all horsehair? Like the whole inside of it?
I don't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
That
It's
seems
been
like
years.
it'd be too fluffy. That doesn't even seem like it'd be comfortable.
well, you see, horsehair is actually the most pliable.
And
There's a science to
hypoallergenic.
this.
I don't
I'm
know.
allergic to horses. You just die. That seems like someone that just wants to show off their wealth, because that doesn't even seem practical.
No,
A
that's
horsehair bed.
You can't even brag about it because it gets wrapped in sheets. Like, you know what kind of bed this is.
Just lay on it.
Yeah.
It's made out of horsehair.
Oh, fuck, so uncomfortable. Like, I want my bed to be a rock. I want it that tough. I want it. I want it to be like a flat. I love
Why not
sleeping
just sleep
on the floor. I do. I love it.
Okay.
But I mean, that's not like I'm gonna go sleep on the floor tonight. Like,
The
no.
Rejuvenate Premier mattress by Purple is $12,000.
Okay, Purple, what you doing? Purple was the first
Signatory
one that I remember.
Rejuvenate.
Here we go. The
Premier.
Signatory Superb.
I just said okay, Purple, and like the Google thing came up. That's hilarious.
The Signatory Superb Queen Firm with Divan is $42,000.
Jesus.
This mattress doesn't even look special.
I need it.
This is insane.
Cole, right there with you. The floor is the best place to sleep. I don't know. I like that hard surface. I just feel like it's better for my back.
You probably like hotel beds, huh?
Oh yeah. Do you not?
I think they're good, but like they're
nice
firm.
hotels.
Yeah.
Like I've slept on some dog shit beds before. Like a best what are those? Super 8s and shit like that? No, I mean
Ugh.
you're not enjoying. Like
No.
in a
Wow.
nice
The
place.
Signatory Superb has 3,296 springs.
The one you got?
No.
This is
Oh.
a $40,000 one.
$42,000
I need it.
mattress.
It's so that there's no pinpoint
It's
Yeah.
pain.
It's superb.
Perfectly contours to your body.
And it also has 42,000 marketers trying to sell this product.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Beds.
I'm looking for this
mattresses.
horsehair bed. I want to find it.
It started with a B, if I remember correctly.
For
There
bad
it
boy
is.
bed.
Hastings.
Is it?
It's like Swedish. Horsehair. The foundation of Hastings bed. The humble horsehair is our most beloved material. And it's got some of the most wondrous properties. How much
Oh.
does this cost? though?
Yes.
Where's it? Flax.
Flaxseed.
Look up Hastings horsehair bed. That's what it is.
That's not what Kyle said at all, but
He doesn't listen to me.
Fuck.
Hastings
Look at this magnetic floating bed.
$6.3 million for a Baldacchino Supreme.
You mean a baldacchino?
That doesn't even.
This is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, horsetail hair. This is it. The vividus. The vividus. Let me change the screen here.
You must call their VIP phone number, book a private test sleep appointment. After that, takes about 45 days.
That's Hastings.
Is it?
Yeah,
Hastings.
that's the company name.
Perfect.
And the bed is
Hastings claims the Vividus
The
bed
Vividus.
lasts over
Because I remember
45
this
years.
pattern. It was like a plaid. I remember the plaid, and it had something to do with horse. So it's a horse tail, not the mane. It's the tail.
So you book basically an interview with the bed,
Look at this. 45 days to hand make.
and it lasts
Call
45
bullshit.
years.
I call bullshit. 45 days on the horse's ass to grow, and then they cut it. They build that. into
Jado
the-
steel style gold bed. Well, it's just because it's made of gold. not 'cause the
Magnetic
bed is-
floating bed. Look at that.
This seems like it
Wow.
would give you cancer. The bed feels like you're floating. Well, you literally are floating. Like, I don't want, like, how does that feel any more stable? Like,
There's so many
earthquakes
more-
going on and you're just fucking floating.
practical things. You know what's crazy? $1.6 million to Elon Musk is less than a penny. Like, value wise.
Probably. You mean compared to us?
Compared to us.
Yeah,
That'd be us spending less than a penny.
probably.
It's-
And like, so are the magnets just directly under it? What if it happens to move? I see there's like linkages there,
we use
right?
advanced microwave.
And you just it just falls.
Could you imagine? Oh, fuck! The magnet fell out!
like, what if there's an earthquake? The magnet
Yeah.
shifts and you're like, wow. Flying.
Or it flips and it like sucks you and squishes
Yeah,
you.
it's like pushing you into the ground.
Wait, what? This is so stupid. The bed managed to hover off the ground thanks to 1,500 pounds of magnets beneath it for safety reasons and to prevent the bed from floating away. The bed's secured to the wall anyway.
With durable. Well, because how else would you be able to control it?
Yeah,
Well,
and you don't want it to flip while you're on it.
So what's the point? Just
you're fucking connected to the wall anyway. Like, what?
It's probably loose
So
on all four corners,
stupid.
just enough to keep it from,
Yeah.
losing control.
Let's see this Baldacchino Supreme. Let's see this 66.3 million.
It looks like it's a 1-of-1, like a collector's item. 250
Only
pounds
two-
of 24 karat gold.
It's
Okay,
nothing to do
there
with the
you go.
bed. It's just the frame.
250 pounds of gold right there.
Yeah, I think that
Headboard, custom built, diamonds.
if I was just stupid wealthy,
I would never buy any of these.
I would probably never spend. I would say 20,000 probably my cap, regardless how much money I had.
I would buy a bed that had like features.
But for the
if
bed
it was like
itself,
active cooling where there was like a fan and it had a computer running it and all this stuff. Like I would spend money on that kind of shit.
but I'm
the
not
bed
buying
itself,
a magnetic bed.
that's attached to the wall anyway.
You guys see this one, the Quantum Sleeper? It closes on you to protect you.
I
seen
absolutely
that.
hate that.
I've seen that. I've seen one where if your
Fridge,
alarm-
microwave, TV, toilet system.
I've seen one where it looks like the Baldacchino, like with this whatever this frame is, the one that goes above the bed. I've seen it where if your alarm system gets tripped, basically like a trapdoor under your bed gets collapsed and you fall down into the bed, and then the top part of the bed falls down and create like a hard shell, and it's like
I
a
saw like a video of
steel. It's like a steel, cage for you to be protected against intruders with.
Retreat.
Can you imagine just waking up, just oh shit, fuck,
And then they're just ransacking your house and you can't do anything.
You're just sitting there chilling. We fabricated with a PlayStation 5. Wow, so you can play games while you fucking get all your stuff jacked.
I think once you get to the Hastings bed here,
Hostins.
I think after that, it's not the bed that's expensive anymore. It's the fucking stupid
Experience.
bullshit that is with it. Like, I think that's about as expensive as you can get for the mattress.
Yeah, but you know what? Do you have a VIP phone number? Because
Yeah.
they do.
I do.
Do you have a VIP?
I got
phone
one
number?
to
No.
Dream Cloud. They gave me one for buying their mattress for $899.
Like, what is a VIP phone number? If this isn't for people who own it. This is for people who want to buy it. So you got to call the exclusive.
I'm looking to buy
make this
the
dumbass.
bed. Are you sure you want that bed?
They wouldn't even talk to me. They'd look up my address on Google.
They'd say,
They'd be
what's
like,
your net
you are
worth?
not wealthy enough to talk to.
What's your zip code? Oh, you can't afford it.
Goodbye. How does one work for a company like this? Like, how do you get hired as like someone that goes out and
Your father was
maintains?
My
Horsehair.
father was the horse that grew there.
yes.
Like, how do you get into a career of maintaining horsehair beds for a living?
Probably family.
Like, who d-
How many did they sell a year? 10? I mean, let's be real. 10? How many people are in the market for $150,000 mattress?
10 is literally
what if-
like
$1.5 million.
$1.5 million.
What if that's
sales.
Elon's
You could have a
like
business.
thank you gift to people that come visit? He's like, by the way, I bought you a Hostins bed. It'll be at your place tomorrow.
It'll be at your place tomorrow. I don't think he's that
I think
cool.
you're dramatically overestimating the hosting capability of Elon Musk.
I'm just saying that could be a rich guy's, like, here you go.
That's
parting
more
gift.
like
That's not a okay.
oil baron type of
Yeah,
thing. to
that
do.
is like
It's like
conglomerate. Like you're worth $100 billion to be throwing that kind. By the way, I bought you a $250,000 bed. Effectively.
thanks for dropping by.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Elon Musk is worth what, 250 or something like that?
I think it's like 400 or something. It's crazy.
insane. But he's not doing that.
Are we sure?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Can't prove you wrong that he's never bought a.
I'd be curious to see like how much he actually has on hand. Because I'm worth
$10.
on paper. I'm worth what? $250,000, $500,000, something like that. But I ain't swinging any dick around like that.
No.
As of 2022, an estimated 75% of his wealth can be made liquid.
Well, yeah, because
Immediately.
there's stocks.
But
But it's not like
it's hard
I'm going to
to
buy
say.
your house's bed. Sell 10 shares of Tesla.
Like,
no.
how much can he do without selling a share?
Yeah.
Like, how much can he?
Like, how much does he have in cash? That at any moment that he could spend or invest.
Probably still more than we'd ever have, but
yeah. I think that's
when I
a
say
fair
probably,
fucking
I mean
statement.
definitely.
I think that's a fair statement.
So the point is like he could do this.
He could.
What a great analysis. Yeah, I would probably agree with that.
I think we should just go talk to Elon Musk
Yeah.
and get a Austin's
shit.
horsehair bed.
Let's call him.
Yeah, let's do it. You got his VIP?
The lines are open, Elon, if you want.
You never know. All right, we might change the world.
What if one of
thing
us
is-
got like a phone call right now?
I'm your 50th subscriber.
We wouldn't get it from him because we're not streaming on X. If we were, then we'd have a chance.
Here's the thing: we could be literally a billionaire, and we still would not ever like. I don't think there's anything we could do in life that would ever actually get us to even close to that wealth from this point forward. Like,
Really sad.
I know, but it's true. Think about it.
Yeah.
No, hell no.
Like,
I don't possess any skills nor the drive.
What if we sell?
Or the not the like the ego not even ego. I don't even know, like the psychopathic drive to see something to that type of phenomenal success. If I had a company worth 10 million, I'm cashing out and not working every day of my life. Like that's just my mentality.
Yeah.
I'm not going like, I'm fucking burning down with this shit, or we're going to be the richest. Like, no, I'm not. I'm, like, not at all.
how much money do you need?
4.9 million.
He's clearly thought about this. How much money do you need to just retire tomorrow?
To just retire tomorrow.
Yeah. He's done the math.
I know.
I put you on the spot.
That's why I feel like his number is pretty good.
Although he's so bad at estimating, I asked him how many people lived in Germany. I think he said 80,000.
80,000.
Or something. It was or 800,000 maybe. I was like, that's the population of Montana. But
15.
Wow.
At least more than 15,000. Less than a billion.
I mean, I would say
you're not wrong.
I would be okay with 3 mil
You think you could live the rest of your life on 3 million?
if I invest it. Like if I invest part of it, and
Not me personally, but if I had some damn good people that work
Yeah.
with me.
like I would instantly get it to work and grow.
Whoa.
Because with that, like your dividends, like your return,
What would your dividends be?
You would
I don't know.
have to not change your lifestyle at all.
Yeah.
For
How much?
a
What
while.
dividends do you think?
Well, it would depend how much I invest out of that.
Yeah, but like, okay, so give me a number.
So like, okay, if I do the 4 million,
Wait, you said 3 million.
or yeah, 3. If I do the 3
We're
million,
already adding an extra milli.
well, let's see. I don't really deal with like investments of that scale, but let's say if I get like a 6% CD rate, and I just get the CD paid.
CD rates are not 6% right now.
Well, because I have that much money, I can get a 6%. I think.
Okay.
Is that how that works?
Good luck.
I don't know.
If you
with
can get a
3
guaranteed
million-
return for 6%, you fucking take it.
So
Go
okay,
for it.
4%.
That's much more realistic. yeah.
Okay, I'd have to do the math. Billy, what's 4% of 3 million?
120,000.
Okay, there you go.
So what is your plan?
So you live off of that.
So you just you got $3 million.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you put all $3 million into one CD.
Well, you
Have
wanted me.
Have you talked to a tax professional?
No,
Have you talked to like?
you
and then-
wanted me to tell
and
you the
then that-
dividends. That's
So
what it
you're
would
never
be.
growing that money. You're gonna make $120,000 for the next 60 years of your life.
I'm not
This
gonna
is
do
a
this.
shit plan, Dylan. Is
I
what
know,
I'm saying.
because I'm gonna have a financial advisor do it for me.
Oh God! So now you're gonna pay his fee? The motherfucker's taking
Yeah?
2%.
I tell you right now, if you're in a self-directed account,
You're back
with
at work
that
at
much money,
35. You're back at work at 35, Dylan. Let's be real.
He's gonna be like, I bought this really cool action figure
For $80,000.
It's gold lined. I bought this Hastings bag.
I had to dip into my CD just a little bit, but
So would you self-direct?
no, I wouldn't trust myself with that much money. I'm not in the same boat as Billy. I would definitely get I would have a whole financial team,
Yeah.
but I would.
I think that would be the smart thing
Yeah,
to do. 3 million.
3
maybe
million
not,
wouldn't really
but-
get you that though. That's the thing. But you could get.
What's your number?
Well, you said what was the minimum? Like the
What I'm telling
to
you.
retire for the rest of
Yeah,
my
I was gonna
life.
say what I'm saying is the minimum. 3 million. You're not living the rest of your life on 3 million. Is what I'm saying.
To do it comfortably, I want a team. I want a financial team. I don't want to have
Sure.
to do any work myself at all. And in order to do that, you need a lot of money, not just so I would need 50 million because I want to get the money and I don't want to have to think about it again.
And the financial services that you'd get with 50 million
Yeah, are way better.
would be
than
way
what
worth it. You
yeah.
go knock on someone's door for 3 million. I know it seems like a lot to the layman, but I know money, and it's like to some shitty financial advisors that just do stocks and bonds and ETFs, oh yeah, 3 million, but 50 million, now you're a private wealth client at Blackstone, or
So that's why I would need at least that. Could I do it on less money than that? Probably, but like I said, I don't want to have to work at all.
when
don't
wouldn't
have
you
to
do
ever-
self-directed?
what I said 4.9 million. I could stretch 4.9 million into.
No, but at what level would you stop self-directing?
Good question. Anything north of 5 million. If your intention was to have an investable asset or an investable account of more than 5 million, why? That makes you a qualified purchaser, which opens up the world of investments, which means you can invest directly into partnerships and businesses. And then you can hire. You could become a private client with some wealth firms and get access to those types of investments, which they will be smart enough to be able to decipher what deals make sense and which ones don't, just from financials. And then you could then be the final say on approvals to say, yeah, I want to invest in that or not. There's more risk because they're not publicly audited. So it's like you're literally owning a business. It's like with stocks, you literally are owning a business too, but it's a little different. There's a whole system and mechanism there. Like you're not going to get ripped off by Apple, so there's a whole system there. But this would be like you're buying the ice cream store, in your neighborhood, something like that.
Yeah, if we're being honest, 3 million is not enough to get a team. Not even close. So I need a lot more than that.
I just want some go-getter, just one guy. His
One
name would be William Salzgiver.
one guy with who puts your money into a 4% CD and his fee is $120,000 a year.
Well, and what's funny about what he said is it's an annual CD. And do you know what annual CDs were paying?
I
in
didn't
20...
say annual CD.
Yeah, well, you said that you were going to pay yourself $120 a year. That was what you were going to pay
just said a
yourself
CD.
with. So what are you living off of?
It'll be like a 3-month CD or something.
Okay, but that's even worse because do you know what a 3-month CD was paying in 2017?
I do, actually.
Like 0.06% or something like that.
Yeah, but right now
not
it's-
4%.
Try 0.5.
All right, half a percent.
Right.
Annualized, so you don't even see 0.2 of that in the 3 months.
I remember when CDs were at 1.5 and everyone was freaking the fuck out. They were like, "Oh my god, there's so much money in this."
because rates are high right now, so you can have CDs that pay
Yeah.
4%, but they
So-
don't always pay 4%. Not even close. I remember when we had clients that would want to do CDs, and when I first started at when I was a wealth management guy. CDs were literally paying that, and we would do audits of banks. We would actually look at bank statements to see how credible they were, because the amounts were well above FDIC, and so we would do this whole analysis, and it was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was like, why are you just keep the money liquid. Why are you even taking the risk at all? You're making like on this $1 million CD, you're making like $1,000 or something ridiculous. Like, what is the why? Why put that capital at risk? I don't know. Never made sense to me. I get there's a whole scaling economy, and maybe what I'm saying is stupid to some, but not to me. Not to risk the $1 million for, and the big risk to me is the liquidity. You don't have that. You can't just go and call it up and say, "Hey, get me out of it." No, that's not how that works. You lose that liquidity. So if you have some event in your life and you don't have access to that, was it worth the $1,000 or whatever it was?
Depends on the CD, because sometimes all the only penalty is you lose out on some of the interest, but it's not like you actually lose money.
Well, for most CDs, I think I think when you go above the FDIC limit, the rules are a little different. I don't think you have. I mean, it also depends on your relationship with the bank. No. But if something happened, I don't think that they owe you that money at any given moment if you call the loan early. Just like the bank can't call your house early. You go like, hey, the house loan we gave you 15 years ago? We're gonna need that money all right now. We're looking to sell your house. Like, no,
right?
Let's not do that. But
yeah,
rates aren't always this high.
But I'm talking right now. And I would have William Salzgiver as my financial advisor.
I would take that money and I would get into some kind of business I was really interested in and just try to grow it with somebody, like partner with somebody who's already got it established. And there's a working concept, and then we just have some money, just a cash injection would scale it. That would be kind of cool to just do that. And then you can kind of be all in on that. I know that that's not retired, but I don't want to retire at 31 like that.
Yeah,
my brain would melt out of my ears. I'd get so bored.
Don't
you?
I don't know. I wouldn't consider retirement. I would just consider it time to do what I actually
I would retire as far as like I would really only do jobs that I wanted to do and on my schedule. Like I've always told people this: if I didn't have to worry about money, I would want to try out being a bartender. I would be if I had gotten to that money, I would go be a bartender just to kill time and have fun.
See, that would be great. Then you could go and start your own bar.
You make a lot of money.
Yeah,
like bartenders can make good money.
Clean up.
Especially depending on where they are, they make 6 figures easy.
At the baseball stadium, I knew a girl that would work every game they had. She'd clear like $800. Yeah. Just in tips.
A year. It's like
a year.
Holy shit. But yeah, so I mean I wouldn't officially retire as much as just I would stop. Yeah, I would stop relying on my career as like if I don't do this, I die. Or like I have no money.
Now, 4.9 million is me doing things like that. 50 million, I'm not working. No, see you later. Like I have so much money now that I could just go and do things to keep my brain from. I can travel. I can go and do whatever the hell I want. Like,
and that's part of my criteria.
Yeah.
When
now
you say
it's like holy
how
shit.
much to just retire tomorrow, or how much would you to quit or whatever. That's what I consider when I make that criteria.
So would it change if it was just the same thing where me and Billy where you would still work but just not?
Yeah, obviously. Like, I would not say no.
Yeah.
To like millions of dollars, regardless of the amount.
I'd take any.
I would work my ass off, if it was anywhere,
I kind of want to keep working where you guys are at, but in like something that's like 1 hour a week or so, finagle something, some way. So you just keep your benefits because you guys have great benefits,
Yeah.
Do something like that where you don't have to worry about health insurance if you're not working, shit like that, because that can get expensive too.
Yeah.
One illness and all of a sudden you're $150,000 for a surgery because you didn't have insurance. Like, fuck.
It's my entire CD return.
Fuck! No! The yearly return!
It's over!
Damn, I'm back to eating rice cakes, bagels.
Yeah. I mean, I would take any million if anybody's giving it out. So here's a question one of my friends asked me. So they asked.
Kind of exactly what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
What amount would I have to pay you right now for you to quit your job?
If someone came in?
No, like for me. What
You
would I,
came in and
as a
said-
friend, what amount would I pay you for you to quit your job right now?
That would be
Like a one-time payment?
significantly lower
Yeah.
because
Way lower.
I could easily take whatever you give me. I could find another job. Like, what are the stipulations?
Just to quit your job.
I don't like that you're unhappy where you're at. Here's 20 grand to quit.
I would think about it in terms of how long can I go without working. So how long would it take me to find another job with the amount of money that I was just given?
But benefits play into it though, too.
They
Right?
do, yeah.
Like, you know, because now you're unemployed, which that's so crazy to me that health insurance is tied to employment. But
We don't
stupid.
live in Canada.
I just don't know how we don't have that one figured out. I don't understand that.
Health insurance is a scam.
Unbelievable.
The health insurance companies. But how much, Billy?
$12.95.
$12.95.
Yes. Here you go. Get yourself a nice lunch.
Yeah, probably like 10 to 20,000. Because I would throw myself into work quickly, and then I would.
There's a
take
lot
that
of
money
jobs
and
that I know that I
train.
could get quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not be like what I'm satisfied with, but I know that I'm not beneath like any work. So
Hell
like,
no!
I-
I'll throw boxes around in a warehouse all day long.
Yeah.
yeah. If I need to make ends meet,
So,
No worries
okay.
about that.
What if it was to quit your job right now and travel with me for a year?
travel with you, just you and me.
I mean,
Like, I can't bring my wife.
you could.
Well, I don't want to.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
No, tell me. Does my wife come?
How
So now
much
you're
am I
paying for
paying?
her.
Yeah.
So
So,
wife
okay.
comes.
You can bring a +1, yeah.
It has to be
Fucking
free though.
free. You don't even have to pay me anything. Just pay for my year.
Oh.
If you covered my nut for
All
an
right,
entire
guys.
year,
Well,
I would
I'll have
love
you
that
guys
to go
know
and just hang
this
out and
is
travel.
last night I won the mega.
And this
Dude,
is
that would
from
be
my
awesome.
CD.
Yeah. I just set up a whole.
I put all 800,000 into a 3-month CD, 800 million into a 3-month CD.
Oh shit!
We're gonna be rolling.
We're rolling, dude. Yeah, you wouldn't have to pay me anything. I would do that in a second
long
to
as
travel
you
the world.
Pay for all my expenses for
Yeah.
a year. Yeah.
Would you? What would you do
I would do it. I feel
for
like
free?
yeah, that
That's a pretty cool one.
I was able to ruin my whole family.
Hell, I'd pay you $1,000. Here you go. Here's 1,000 for the next 100,000 charges.
But yeah, I got asked that, and I thought it was interesting because like,
Well, it's easy because I like you. Now, if the person who asked you and you didn't really like him, it
Here are
probably is a price.
you're like, I need
Hang
a
out with you.
5 million.
Now, if I couldn't bring my wife, I would need to support her. So it'd probably have to be like 50, at least 50,000.
For a
But
whole year?
If we were gonna travel for like a whole year, I mean, I might even like rent out the house. Like I would do shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
What's stopping us?
yeah. The megabucks, dude. Fucking hit it. All right.
I'll go
You go out all the time. You start gambling, dude. That would be like the worst deal for him. He just blows all his money on us.
I think I read at one point
year of my life.
if you took it at a monthly payout or the 29-year payout, the Mega Millions, which you should probably always do the lump sum. But anyways, if you did the 29-year payout, it equated to like $850,000 a month for 30 years. Can you imagine that? I can't.
Wow.
That is obscene. It's $2,000 a day.
Yep. Just to exist.
Imagine all the CDs you could.
I have a ladder CDs. I'm unstoppable.
Wait, you said 800 a month?
Yeah, like 800,000 a month.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's like 20,000 a day.
it's insane.
You could stay at the most you could live in the most lavish hotel. That's probably what I would do. Full service,
Ooh. Yeah, room
full service,
service.
everything. Like fucking, you live at the hotel. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was
You'd have,
that was after taxes and everything. Because if you do just the numbers, it's like 2.2 million. But like after the absurd amount of stuff that would go into it, it ended up being like $850,000 a month for 30 years.
I would do it. This is how I would do it. I would take that first year to really set up a plan of what I wouldn't make any drastic change. I would quit work immediately and stuff like that. But I'd take a year, maybe even 6 months to really plan out. I want to do here's the things that I want to accomplish. I'm young, I'm healthy. Once I really start playing with this money, I'm going to get fat and sad real quick. So this is what I want to try and do. And I want to, and then I would build the ultimate plan. Because I would not really, you take that year, you collect all that fucking money. Boom, you help your family out a little bit and say, okay, now I'm done. And then you build out this ultimate plan of like how you're going to have your life set up. Like, I want to live for 4 months in Austria. Okay, now I want to live for 4 months in London. Now I want to live, and you just experience. How cool would that be? To just live in these different parts of the world for like 3 months? So you're not just visiting, you're like ingratiating yourself into the community and getting a real sense of how it is. And you could just, do all these things. Private jets back home whenever you need to at a drop of a hat. Straight flight just to, right to the closest airport to go visit your family for Christmas, whatever. So you're not missing any of that kind of shit. But you just have like the ultimate game plan and stuff. And maybe you scout out the first 5 years of your life. I mean, you could even hire like a travel advisory company to like really help build this out.
Is you find yourself a really excellent legal team. Like, I think
you don't get sued.
I think that's the first
one
step. Yeah.
hell of a lawyer.
One hell.
I was thinking about risk mitigation. I got one thing and one thing only on my mind: risk mitigation. What are you gonna do with all your money? Risk mitigation.
I've seen too many times money destroy lives,
dude. 100%.
No.
Well, and then like people calling out of the word, thinking I wouldn't tell anybody I made it.
When I say lives, I mean family.
Yeah,
I've seen it destroy family, friendships.
I think that's the first
like,
mistake. People tell people that they want it. I would do my best to tell it at the least amount of people.
There'd be signs that I had money, but I wouldn't
living
be
in London. For
Kyle walks in, has a Rolex. He's like,
I wouldn't tell anybody, but there'd be signs.
He's got grills.
I
Hey,
really
guys.
don't think I'd be that guy.
I wouldn't be very flashy, but I would buy a lot of things like
Michelin
for one,
3-star.
I would buy probably a really nice vehicle. I'd probably
I don't know if I'd own a car.
Just pay off my house. I definitely own a car. Like wealth wouldn't be driving wouldn't be beneath me. I feel like I would want one.
I like
guess
being in
you're right.
control.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm thinking of if I'm moving from place to place, I wouldn't want to have to like worry about.
I don't know how much
bringing-
traveling I would do like that though.
Yeah.
I think I would go on really nice vacations, but I probably wouldn't be like
I would do that.
4 months here, 4 months there. Like
what I was thinking.
yeah.
Love it.
I'm too grounded, in my life right now. I would.
That's true. I'm not. You have kids. I don't.
I would pay
I'm not in that
for
frame.
like my family and then like my family's family to like go on vacations, like just big family vacations and stuff, and like
Do you
friends.
think we would be involved? Oh,
I would definitely invite. Like I would definitely.
That's how we'd know.
If I had that much
be
money,
like, hey guys,
you know how you guys would know? I would invite you over, and I'd have some top tier chef cooking Wagyu steaks.
Kyle, there's a chance you would just do that anyway.
Yeah.
Like he would just be like, guys, I watched this YouTube video and it was a deal of a lifetime.
I spent $5,000.
Like I actually can see you doing that. This is supposed to be the best steak of your fucking life.
But I
Especially
would-
a steak.
Actually, the real way I would know, you guys would know that I had is I would literally do what we're talking about. Like, how much money would it take for you to just like stop what you're doing, go on I would pay for a year-long just dream experience.
See,
for everybody.
that's how I think I would be too.
Yeah.
Like I would want everyone around me, like the people I truly care about,
Yeah.
to like come up. I would want fucking bums, stuff like that. And I don't think you guys would be. You owe me money, Billy, because we're friends. Like I really don't think either of you would ever do that.
You know how much money I've spent on Buzzsprout?
You owe me $117.
Give it to me now.
Now!
We're not friends.
Fuck!
You give it to me? All right.
Well,
We're all square.
Give me the fucking
You
money.
realize you make $800,000 a month, right? What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Because
wanna
you
be
can
doing
afford
cool stuff.
you can afford a reckless year money wise, and
sure.
then just
That's what I
after
was
that,
kinda
just be
thinking,
smart. You know.
and that's why, like,
What about 3 reckless years?
See, that's the thing. You got to be disciplined.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just be like crazy, but you do have the leeway to be pretty silly for a while.
$800,000 a month gives you a lot of
There's a lot of leeway.
but it's also only 30 years.
Yeah.
You know, like that gets me to 60. I got a lot of life left to live. So I
Yeah.
probably would want to taper at some point so that I can. I think having done, like, building that plan of here's what I want to try and do, it would give you an idea of where you want to live and what kind of lifestyle you want to have. Maybe at 60, you want to be near family and things like that. And so you just would scale down and sort of start to plan and build that. $20,000 a day. That's kind of unbelievable.
That'd be so nice.
I think I could deal with that.
I think I could.
Still not even close to Elon Musk's net worth,
No,
which is
like-
crazy.
0.3%. But I wouldn't want Elon Musk's life. That
No.
guy works. He didn't ever stop. It's like, well, why do you even have money?
Yeah. No, well, like you're
He
saying.
doesn't even own a home. He lives in a fucking crate on SpaceX's. Like, what the fuck?
Like you're saying, I have no egotistical earthly desire to like reach that level of wealth. Like
Yeah.
like that takes a special kind of autism. No.
Dedicate. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's different. It's
It's
like it's a
different.
love. It's like a love. Only love gets you that crazy. And
And-
you have to love your company.
Yeah, and it's like I don't. Like I wouldn't be that level
You
of like
cash out.
I need to be the richest.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'd be fine just being comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, how cool would it be with that kind of wealth? Hear me out, guys.
All right.
He's gonna say some wild shit.
You ready for this? This is how I would tell you. Be like, hey guys, I bought you a plane ticket. We're gonna go down to Galveston, Texas, and I privately rented the largest cruise ship in the world to float us around to all the amazing places in the world. We can go wherever we want. for
That'd
a
be
year.
pretty dope.
That would be all fully staffed.
You would need so much money for that.
Dude, are we not talking about $830,000 a month? I think you
True.
could probably pull it off.
That you actually might have to save up for a little bit. How much money does
A new boat, I think, is like $2 billion.
we're talking about? Like, yeah, new cruise ship is going to be at least over $1 billion.
Plus,
But
how
that
much
has
crew?
like a service life of decades. You're talking about
Yeah,
planning
but
for
like
a year.
they have to do the cost benefit. How much do they make on average a year? One ship. you know.
It might come close.
And how much would you be paying?
I'm too poor. I make $830,000.
and I'm too poor to rent out a cruise ship for a year.
Well, why wouldn't you
But
rent? out-
maybe not the biggest then. Maybe a little older one.
Why wouldn't you just buy a yacht, but big enough to like have employees?
You've clearly never been on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that would be
They're not
more
even
cost affordable.
It would way be more. But the scale, you're talking about like
because that way you could afford it.
F-150 versus a 40-ton mining truck.
Well, but you don't make enough, Billy.
I don't. I know.
With your
I think
850.
Kyle's right. I
So
don't
you
think-
need to buy a yacht.
Like Royal Caribbean would not answer that phone call. Be like, nah, we've had offers, like, but we're not interested. Like, really? But I think you could buy like one of the older Carnivals for a year for sure, and it would still be a massive boat. But you're paying.
So
I'm sure I think they burn more than $20,000.
this guy on
fuel
Reddit
a
did the
day.
math. He said that a 500 passenger cruise ship,
So that's nothing.
that's tiny,
It's like a yacht. Big
on
yacht.
average still makes about 550 million a year,
In revenue?
apparently.
How much are these 500 passengers spending? All casino money? Yeah, maybe I'm out of my mind.
It's about 1 billion for.
Is it really that much to sail the ocean?
It's about
Well, that's why you
1
gotta get a
billion.
yacht.
You could do it with a yacht easy.
We
But
don't
think
need a
of the
cruise ship,
cruise
Billy.
ship,
We
dude.
don't need it. How many people
But
are
the
you
water
bringing?
slides.
Oh wait, no, that's how much it costs to run a 500 passenger cruise ship per year.
$500 million? No way.
This is just some guy on Reddit. This is not
To run or to like
so.
build a
This guy
500
says,
passenger boat. I can see.
I
building
always
it.
had this question in my head that very expensive things like cruise ship take ages before it's profitable. So I Googled how expensive a cruise ship is, and this is what I found. No, this is just to build it.
Yeah, I was just saying building it for
550
sure.
million for a cruise ship with cash flow, but most are around $1 billion. So let's see, to pay off $1 billion. So his question is, how much do they make per year? 20%. They don't even make a profit in the beginning. It takes a while.
So just imagine I rent the largest cruise ship and it uses 80,000 gallons of fuel in a day.
I don't think the Mega Millions is doing this for us.
We got to win it twice.
1 million.
So now
Now I'm halfway there.
Oh, here, look at this. Do you see this? The Royal Caribbean Symphony of the Seas costs $1 million a day to run.
That's
Okay.
from Tudor 2 notes.
So a little more than my 20 grand a day. Yeah, I'm already feeling poor, guys.
How did this happen?
What happened? We spent all our money.
See?
But a yacht would
A yacht.
definitely work.
And it's a
But
big
nobody's
yacht.
enjoying a yacht.
What?
Not for a year.
Bro, not for a year.
We could do that for a
big yacht.
month and have a good time.
A big yacht. I'm Dylan. You don't have the frame of reference. The biggest yacht looks like a pea next to
I
a
would
fucking
still-
even a small cruise ship.
You know, I'd still go with you
Thanks, man.
if it was a yacht.
It would be fun, but you'd also feel the waves a lot more.
And my barrier of entry
That's-
go with you.
Yachts yachts are not long-term vacation things.
No,
Like
it's like a big dick thing.
yeah, like I would much rather like
You got to be a sailor or a wannabe sailor. I'd much rather just travel and get to the fucking place I want to go.
I also like did
Private
the math.
jet.
If someone got Elon Musk's net worth paid out to them over a course of 30 years, it'd be $1.1 billion a month.
That's doable.
Now we can
Now
we
rent
can
a
get the cruise
for-
ship.
Now, gentlemen, I'm gonna invite 4,000 of my friends. Could you imagine? Just like 4,000 friends just sucking up to me, like, "Oh,
I would hate that.
I would hate it so
Yeah.
much.
Billy, you want me to fuck my ass?
See, but what kind of friend is that? Fuck your ass, dude. I need it. You want to be on this cruise ship? You need to fuck your ass.
All right, Billy.
Yes.
It's some like
Jesus, this is
sick horror film.
started to turn into
Cruise
Mark Ruffalo on Mickey 17, the way he was running his ship.
Cruise ship from hell. It's like a horror film with it's like some like Squid Games type
Straight
shit. when you get-
fascist dictator, you know?
You give out if they make you happy, you give out money, and if they don't,
Yeah,
then
Billy Bucks. Everybody gets Billy Bucks.
You're on this cruise. They don't make you happy. You have a member of their family killed.
you messed up.
Walk the plank. It totally turns like a Lord of the Flies type situation.
I am the king of this ship.
On open seas, I am the captain. There are
$1
no.
billion a month.
Now that we can work with.
You know
Now
what
there
I would
is
do?
literally no dream.
Now,
thing.
what are the questions to where we start feeling poor again?
You know, another thing we could do.
I want to
Like, I
rent
wanna-
out the United States.
I want a vacation on
year.
the moon. I want to put my feet up on the International Space Station.
You are too poor for this.
Oh shit! I honestly don't even think you are too poor for that. Like going to the international, like you're not paying $1 billion to go do that.
Yeah,
I mean, you're literally making.
Katy Perry's going into space, not the International Space Station, but her and like a bunch of other celebrities are flying into space.
Yeah, I mean, you're making like $30 million a day. A day.
One of the ideas I might do to tell you guys, if I was rich, I'd buy like a bunch of bots for the podcast.
Wow.
And have them like swamp the
Swarm.
stream.
Have you ever seen those bots on YouTube that's like, wow, really great content. I can't wait to watch the next video. And you're just like,
You're like, who's paying for this?
And
it's
so you
always a
guys would see
thumbnail
like
picture of a
we would
girl
have
with
like
big tits.
4 million views or something. Oh my god. Podcast takes off. We make
What could you not do for $30 million a day? Own slaves. Like an army of slaves.
That's immoral and illegal.
But I think you could.
Depends on where you are.
Yeah.
Like, would somebody sell you themselves for $30 million?
100%.
Oh yeah.
Someone would.
Like, now we're thinking like billionaires.
Now we're thinking like
I think
billionaires.
we've unlocked.
Is this what billionaires do? They get so bored they're like, how can I piss away my money? And this is the shit. This is how it starts? Is this how it starts?
Yeah, we need to have
We're
it.
just missing the money aspect, you know.
The most
Jesus.
important part.
Yeah.
I'm like, my brain immediately goes into, can you buy another human being? Like, the fuck?
It's called sex.
I'm not even
trafficking.
interested in it, but I kind of want to know.
This is
Do I have a guy? Do I have a human being guy?
It's called sex trafficking, Billy.
No,
is
not even
terrible.
for sex, just
dark.
to say I own it.
Yeah, so you'd buy somebody through
I
there.
own this, man. Get Channing Tatum on a leash, like in this.
Yes.
At the end.
What could you not? What could you not do for $30 million a day?
Couldn't buy $100 million house in one day. You'd have to save up for a couple of days.
You couldn't live on a aircraft carrier. The U.S. would not sell you an aircraft carrier.
You probably couldn't live in the White House.
Elon Musk is close.
You couldn't eat dinner with Elon.
You probably could. Not for $30 million.
It need to be.
Yeah, I feel like I don't even know if there's a price on that because he's just like money is so irrelevant to him. Like you couldn't buy his time.
He would just like he
He'd be
would
like,
have
why
to
am I
like
meeting
you.
He hasn't
Yeah.
traded in something
You'd
as
be like,
common
why?
as money in years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Like, why would I want to waste my time? Anybody in the chat? Anybody getting ideas that what we couldn't afford if we were making $30 million a day? True love.
A country?
Like you couldn't
Could
operate.
we buy
it.
a country?
Yeah, but then you would inherit all the companies in it, so you would be making money back too.
Damn.
So it would run itself.
Like I could buy Cuba.
Cuba?
Probably not the place I'd go with.
Probably not for $30 million either.
You could probably, if you used all your money, you could probably funnel that in to get to pumping enough propaganda to get a state to recede from the U.S. Like to be its own nation.
Texas. I'm looking at you.
I feel like, yeah. Let's see. I bet you could buy a country for $30 million. Yeah, I agree too. But what the question is, what could you not do? Like you still couldn't afford for $30 million a day.
There's a lot, probably, actually.
Create a human Baby Yoda clone.
All right. I mean,
I'm talking about like an activity.
Yeah, we can't buy things that just don't exist.
Yeah. Light-speed travel.
You couldn't fly without the assistance of machines.
Damn, you're right. I couldn't.
Without, see?
But if you were a trillionaire, you could.
You become a trillionaire and you start levitating.
That's how it works.
There's literally like, you think it, you could do it.
Yeah.
Like as preposterous as it is,
Colonize Mars.
Like literally renting out the largest cruise ship in the world, you could easily afford that.
This is exactly the mindset of why Elon Musk is the way he is.
But we just looked it up. That the largest boat costs $1 million per day to operate.
No.
You're making $30 million. You could rent out the whole Royal Caribbean fleet for the year. You take that boat, I'm gonna take this boat. You stay on your fucking boat, okay?
You think Elon Musk just gives cruise ships to,
This is how he's spending his time.
to people that interact with him?
No, I hope that like people are actually doing something good with their money and not like fucking doing what we're doing. Can you buy a human being? Most dangerous
Can you
game.
clone and create a Baby Yoda?
Yeah. Like, let's check on the science on that, guys.
Can I make a guy?
Billy. You know what you could do?
What could I do?
You could buy the horsehair beds for your friends.
We came full circle.
That's how you guys would know I won the lottery.
Do not buy
I
me
would
that
have a
fucking
horsehair
bed.
bed delivered.
Do not buy me that bed unless I can return it.
Honestly, I probably would. I would probably do it just to, like,
Better go with receipts
for
so I
the
can
laughs.
return it.
If I had that much money, I'd do it for the laughs. I would have a
that's-
horsehair bed delivered to
Like
your-
that's it, and then he
A
leaves,
sticky note, fuck you on it.
and then we never see Kyle again. That
That's
was
his
the
accent. It's like on my doorstep tomorrow. Like, what the fuck? The guy was not lying. He got Elon Musk to give him all his money.
And then you have annoying ass people installing it all day in your house. They have to come every so often to maintain your
You gotta
bed.
fluff your bed. Damn it, Kyle! You've actively made my life worse.
Your insurance drops you because it's too valuable.
I find out
Your homeowner's
I'm
insurance.
deathly allergic to horsehair, but you have like John Bernthal enforcing that I use it every night.
hey Billy.
In his Punisher
Yeah.
outfit.
Just watching me as I sleep. Like, what the fuck?
Better sleep.
Oh. Oh, God.
Dude, I don't. You could afford any friend for that kind of money. You know,
But
like-
would they really be a friend?
No.
That's a tough thing when you get that high in money.
You couldn't trust anybody.
Well, it's like you have to ask yourself, why are they all friends with each other? It's all a show.
Oh yeah,
It's all a game.
No.
It's all weird. Why do they all know each other?
They're
Why are
swingers.
they all hanging out?
I'd
with
be
each
one
other?
of those,
Swingers.
like, just
Down to
silent rich people. There's so many people out there that are just stupid wealthy. They don't even know their names.
most of them play gotcha
try
games.
and be like that.
Would you ever want to reenact the most dangerous game?
No.
Hunt a human being?
Would you?
No. Because aren't they like trying to kill you too? Isn't that part of isn't that how that book goes? Where he traps the hunter?
Well, yes, but like, I think he has no tools or anything.
Right. He's nothing.
Yeah,
But he still finds a way to do it.
to make it a good book.
Yeah, but humans are crafty sons of bitches. And if you're being told some
institute the
rich
Hunger
guy
Games?
is hunting you, good luck. Like, you're gonna come up with some pretty fucking good ideas. I would
Would you
assume.
create the Squid Games in real life?
Mr. Beast already did that.
No, but like actually kill people.
So now I just go off the reservation. So I would need to institute my own government so I couldn't get prosecuted for shit like that.
You have the chance to win.
Now we're starting to get
Start my
into,
own, like-
are we too poor for this?
Start my own like John Galt society, like from Atlas Shrugged, and just fucking have like only selected people in the way that they get selected. You gotta win Squid Games.
You have to earn your money.
See, all these ideas suck because
I would create a city underwater called Rapture.
I was like, for what
called
reason?
Rapture.
Yeah,
From Bioshock.
from Bioshock, the game.
God.
Oh,
It'd be big daddies and little sisters.
Nope.
And
That'd be kind of interesting to see a underwater city. And
I would. It'd be
and then
cool.
one
I
like
feel like that would just asking for disaster.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Like one thing goes wrong, everybody dies.
the air bubble or the glass window cracks. Dead.
Because the Meg showed up. Megalodon.
I would. Can you create a megalodon?
Can you own one?
Own a meg.
I mean, you could literally, for $30 million, you could build a house in space. Could you imagine just building like a
Stick built. It's like not even like
just
practical.
Not even practical. Just build it.
Just
So I got a house
just a
orbiting
nice
Earth.
2,000 square foot house on the moon.
You got like a Ring camera set up on it.
Yeah.
Check it out.
See, we're talking about all the things we could do. What we would do, I would do way more interesting things than anything we're talking about.
I would
With
just
that kind of money.
do my best to enjoy my life while I'm alive. And
Yeah.
I would do it in a healthy and,
Oh, I wouldn't be healthy. I'd ravage everything, and then I'd have doctors daily checking me up. Your blood sugar's high. Give me a pill to counteract the sugar. Must eat another muffin.
if
Make
I was,
it
I'm dieting right now, so I'm craving.
if I was
food.
stupid wealthy too, I would have to start thinking about things like, well, okay, so how do I leave this to my kids without them like squandering it? Like I would have to start thinking about stuff like that. Like what's the best way to go about this? Because you never want your kids to struggle, obviously. So you'd start thinking like, okay, so how do I make it make sense? You know,
Squid Game.
And-
See, for me, I don't plan. Most people, like for instance, I don't. I would imagine. Let's say you pass away around 85. I would say that's probably a good average, a good number. Say 85 years old. Your kids are going to be 65 years old.
Yeah.
They've already figured that they're retiring. You know what I mean? So I really don't. Having been in the wealth management space, I actually have a different mindset. I want to spoil my kids while they're alive.
Yeah.
And so, and I don't want to leave them this massive pot.
Well, that's
of
what I mean.
wealth.
You have so much money that you could do both.
Definitely.
And so you're
That's
like, you have to
definitely.
think about how you're going to do it. you
But
know?
I probably wouldn't want to leave it to one person because they would spend it stupidly like us.
It would
We're
Probably
much better.
donate it and do things like that. But in my name, so I have stuff built after me. The
welcome
William
to the
Foundation.
William Foundation of like
Of
something you were
knowledge.
never involved in.
Yeah.
Like
What if
Liberal Arts College of William.
yeah, like the Art Institute.
there's a bunch of paintings?
He loved art.
Like, he loved art. AI generated art.
It's fraud.
Kyle, what if we became Batman?
I would not become Batman. I'm not as cool as
Do
Batman
you want to
is
get
in the
punched
comics.
and risk death every night?
No,
As
no.
cool as Batman is in the comics, you know what would happen to a real life hero?
Yeah.
What happened to White Tiger?
Yeah, I was
at the
just
end of
going to say
Daredevil?
that. Bang, and that's
Yeah.
it.
No, yeah. So I mean, like we'd go full on immersive though. Like your parents get killed in front of you.
It's the only way.
It's the only.
I think Elon's richer than Bruce at this point.
Yeah.
Probably is. What is
You
his
go
net
Bruce
worth?
Wayne, I think he's like 30 billion or
You
something.
go train for years with Raj Al Ghul.
Didn't-
Some monastery.
No. Did you,
No.
Not even close.
didn't we look it up once? Like the richest character from anything is Donald Duck? Did we look
Yeah,
that
it's
up?
like Scrooge.
Scrooge.
Or, yes. Is it Scrooge McDuck?
Yeah, he's the one that's got money.
McDuck. As of 2024, Wayne Enterprises is estimated to be worth about 31.3 billion.
Almost exactly what I said.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Who's the richest cartoon character?
It's Scrooge McDuck. I'm pretty sure.
At how much though?
Wasn't it like 146 billion or some shit?
Actually, not even close. Only a measly 65 billion.
Measly.
Scrooge McDuck.
That paid over a lifetime. You can't even fucking build a house off of
65
it.
billion. You know what's crazy? 65 billion. Not even
It's
that long
probably-
ago was the richest person in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's insane how quickly that moved.
Wasn't Bill Gates the first billionaire ever?
Google is.
Actually, it might have been a Japanese guy. Yeah, I might. That is probably way wrong, actually. Because Japan popped off in the 80s.
Well,
90s.
adjusted for
Remember how-
inflation, it was Rockefeller, but
Of course, yeah.
um,
And I think he might still be the richest person of all time if he was still alive and owned 90% of the oil market, which is no, but
dude, I don't like that Gemini is always the first thing that comes up now because it's like wrong half the time.
Yeah.
I know.
It's so annoying.
Or you read it and it's like, you actually didn't say anything there. You know, like you just repeated yourself. And then you look at the article it quoted and it's like, this was written by AI too. So it's like AI interpreting AI. You're
You're
that's
like,
not really that good.
Did John D. Did he actually have $1 billion in 1916?
He might have.
Because
He
everyone says Rockefeller.
He might have. He owned 90% of the oil market globally. 90%. He was, and he would was ruthless. Buy out your company, do some shady shit. I'm pretty sure at one point he owned his own military. Like he had his own like in those days you could hire your own private police, and he had like a militia.
Damn.
Like fucking ridiculous oil baron shit.
Rockefeller at his height, not adjusted for inflation, so this is actual money he had in that time, was 1.4 billion.
Damn.
Wow.
In 19 or what year was it?
That was like 1916.
World War One. I'm pretty sure his taxes alone paid like 3% of the nation's federal tax. Like, just the one guy.
That's crazy.
Something obscene.
That is, yeah. Let's see.
Well, I mean, with wealth like that, though, better pay that large amount.
Andrew Carnegie was the steel magnate. He was like the counterpart. He might have been a billionaire too. He owned all steel production. And then the JP Morgans of the world, the Morgans family. Those are like the three prominent wealth families. Rothschild, you always hear about them in every fucking conspiracy ever.
The Rothschilds.
Because they're like sort of tied to all those families, I guess. I don't know. It's like families that strategically just marry
other rich families.
Yeah. Keep the wealth in the family.
It must stay in the 1%.
Is that a criteria for your dating life? Like you got to date someone who's like really rich.
I'm trying.
This is what I mean. Gemini is all over the place on this. They're like, adjusted for inflation, Rockefeller would be worth about 340 billion now. But then they're saying 1.4 billion adjusted for inflation is about 40 billion now. And like it's not, there's no clear answer on this. But multiple sites are saying that it'd be around 400 billion.
I think what people try to interpret is oil production, and that's what inflates him past the 300 mark. It's like if he owned 90% of the oil, then
not just dollar inflation, but like what that
resource
would make sense, resource inflation and all that. So
it's kind of crazy, like the history of energy. Like before oil was like kerosene, and before that I think it was fucking like whale blubber.
Yeah,
he just like hunted whales down.
That's how they were.
And then we
almost extinct.
Kerosene was like literally a bomb waiting to happen. He'd like turn a light on, it would just be fucking like you're burning like gasoline in your.
So what are
living
people
room.
died at 35?
Yeah.
The kerosene lamp blew up again.
Yeah.
Damn
the
it.
whole neighborhood burned down.
If only it wasn't the most reliable way to light a house.
Unbelievable. And then oil production in Ohio, I think, was the first one.
Why didn't we get in on that?
Well, 1900s was a little tough.
If only.
My grandpa, if he was still alive,
Would be 150 years old.
It's weird to think he was alive in the same time that Rockefeller was alive.
What year was he born?
22. Rockefeller died in the 30s.
That is weird.
Well,
Crazy.
When did Einstein die? 70s?
Not 70s. I want to say like early 60s. No, 55.
Okay, so before our parents were alive.
My dad, he always talks about how it's weird, because I should have known that because he talks about this. He says it's weird to think that he was only born like 7 years after Einstein died, and everyone always thinks of him as like this like way old guy.
Yeah.
Really wasn't.
No, dude, civilization is really not that fucking old. Especially like when you realistically like modern civilization, you got to look at like post-industrial era, like when machines and manufacturing and stuff. Like the assembly line was invented with Henry Ford, like in the fucking 1900s. Yeah. Like what the fuck?
The biggest one that always gets me is the whole Cleopatra thing of like we're closer to Cleopatra than Cleopatra was to the pyramids being built. That
Egypt was like They're still around, but they were like pretty prominent for a long ass time. I don't think America's gonna last that long. 4,000 years of.
You watch your mouth.
I'm just being real.
I don't know how you, without some kind of
we
revolution.
need
I
to
don't know. The
build-
world's been pretty stable. I mean, the world map has not changed. I would say the world map in any other century to the from 2000 to 2025, 1900 to 1925, 1800 to 1825. I bet you the world map has changed by far the least. In those years. So I don't know. Maybe a lot. Hopefully, we stop waging wars over arbitrary lines. But
what we need as Americans is a sole purpose to focus on.
aliens.
We build a pyramid.
Just we
like a
use our
giant-
money. That's what
30
we
million
can
a
do.
day.
30 million a
We're gonna
day.
build a pyramid.
We're gonna build a
It's gonna put the Luxor to shame.
It's gonna be the largest.
And we build it according to Egypt, like how they built their pyramid methods.
Like with just like death traps.
I don't think
you
we-
walk in and get lost.
I don't think we know how the pyramids are built.
We figured
Lack
it
of
out.
man-
No,
power.
because the stones are so large
Yeah.
that it doesn't make sense.
You should be surprised what thousands of people can do with the threat of death.
That's what we'll do. Like I said, America needs a sole goal to focus on right now. Building a pyramid.
That's probably the dumbest thing to unite people. But,
We're going to build a pyramid.
listen up, everybody. Here we go. We're gonna build a fucking pyramid right next to Mount Rushmore.
Where would it be built? You think next to Mount Rushmore?
Probably right on some like Native American reservation.
Yeah, it's gonna piss
Keep
someone
in
off.
line with
Yeah.
American history.
Fucking someone's getting pissed off.
I saw this video that was like,
I like the thought though.
I could tell.
I saw this video that was like,
You knew it was a good idea.
Why are there pyramids like all over the world? Like it was like one of those like like
Yeah,
that is
ancient
the
aliens.
question. Aliens, like why is there pyramids in South America?
It's
And
the
it-
same shape.
It's like maybe because that's the like easiest way to build up. And like it's
Build
not
a
that
base,
much.
maybe-
Make it a little bit smaller.
Oh, cool.
just-
We got a step now that we can.
I like it. Like,
Oh no, now it's too skinny. Oh,
guess we're done.
So Joe Rogan talks about this all the time. He has on all these different conspiracy dudes, like this guy named Graham Hancock, who have all these different thoughts and theory. Are you 4 years old? Jesus Christ! Like what the fuck?
Graham Hancock.
Wow!
Cock.
Wow! Did he say that? He like looks at you 3 times. Like, did you hear that? He
me-
said cock.
Tell me you heard it.
Wow!
Tell me I'm not alone. Tell me you heard it.
Jesus, this fucking guy. I don't even know where he
Graham
has.
Hancock.
Yeah, they talk about all these different different conspiracy theories about the building of the pyramids, and some of the stones, I guess, are like tens of thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
And like rope wouldn't even have been strong enough to pull on it. They would like snapped. I don't know. There's all these like crazy theories on how, and they were also mined from like 100 miles away. Like the quarry that they pulled them from was like 100 miles away, so they had to get these stones there. Like to his point, he's saying, which I disagree so hardcore. We couldn't build something like that today, which is just so not fucking true.
Yeah,
Humans would overcome any, like,
Yeah.
come on, we can fucking stack rock.
that's
We
why
would figure it out.
we need to do it.
Right. I mean, the only theory that stands, according to just
Aliens.
a quick little Google search, is just the sheer amount of manpower. There was, at one point in time, over 10,000 people working day in and day out on it. So, like, you get that.
I
enough
think
people.
humans definitely can conquer. I mean, obviously it's built, and I know. I think it's to Graham's point. His whole thesis is that they had some kind of technology, whether it was like a lever and fulcrum style method to get these stones lifted and put into place with extreme precision that has been lost. Effectively, like there's some kind of math or basic system that we don't know about that would,
The
aid
Great
in
Pyramid of Giza took about 20 years to build. It's crazy how people can like narrow that down. Like, how well were these things documented? They're like this, like, I mean, things were documented, but like how?
Well, I would imagine they got that number from like carbon dating or some shit.
I don't think you can carbon date
That-
rock.
Well, maybe what you do is you get like a dust sample that's been covered by another giant ass brick from the bottom of the pyramid, and then you do the same at the top. I
How
don't know.
accurate is that? This is me talking, I guess, in layman's terms about that, but that's crazy.
Or from inside the pyramid too,
I think, well, what's funny, specifically with the Giza one, I've heard theories that basically a bunch of different pharaohs have tried to claim different, because like they'll finish it. Someone, like their ancestor started it. Took way longer to build
Like
than what
word
they
of
said.
mouth, and then it's documented
And then
on some
they claim,
hieroglyph.
because they're the pharaoh, they have
Yeah.
ultimate power. They can just change history and say,
Yeah.
no, I built that. And then they get changed. And I built it in 20 years, and it's like, no, that's not fucking true at all.
According to the collector.com, the short truth is no one actually really knows
Yeah.
because they are so old and such little evidence survives from the time when they were made.
Well, and the Library of
But
Alexandria.
estimates, that was such a loss of knowledge. But estimates suggest each pyramid could have taken somewhere between 15 to 30 years based on how it was notated how they were built by like through different like writings and
built different.
I've heard a lot of theories that it was aliens that helped build these pyramids.
You really think deeply about these things, don't
I
you?
do, and like, saying why did the aliens do that?
Dylan, I'm kind of coming on board. I think we need to build a big ass pyramid in New Mexico.
See?
In New Mexico.
in New Mexico.
And what we do, prisoner problem, no longer worry about it. Prisoners get to work on the Pyramid of America.
That's legal.
You can
So we build it in the old ways. The guys with rope and pulling rock through
you can work
sand.
off your sentence.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I mean,
What? You tell me. What does this solve?
Mr. Trump, Mr. Elon, you guys can take that idea for free if you want.
Yeah. Good luck. I'm all for this idea. Cole's all in.
The Library of Alexandria at its peak contained an estimated 500,000 documents from various nations around the
How
world.
much of it was porn?
Probably a good portion of it, if we're being honest.
Did you see these tits, Billy Drew? So
Oh,
good.
fuck.
But just, God,
Yeah, it is sad.
that's crazy to think about.
I was,
Think about what their sci-fi stories were.
Yeah, like what was their fiction?
Yeah,
that's
right?
where
Their
the
fiction
aliens
was gods.
Did they have the
Like-
concept of like what a space? Like I want to know what a spaceship. If they, I guarantee you, someone conceptualized that at some
Have
point.
you ever seen
What
Ancient
did
Aliens?
it look like? Yeah, I have.
It's like he's so irritated. That he,
Wait, I don't know what the fuck. I'm actually talking about something cool. And you're over here memeing.
Just saying, there's a couple episodes where
yeah.
you see
with you.
artistic depictions of what could be considered a spaceship.
like
okay?
if you brought just like a common folk, like from ancient Egypt, and I'm like 2000 BC. If you brought him in a time machine to now, like would their mind break? Would they have a nervous breakdown? Would they like?
I don't think they would
what
have.
do you think their reaction would be?
Didn't I just talk about this with you guys on a recent podcast? And I didn't. This was one of the most interesting
feel
things
like-
I've learned recently.
Did we have this conversation?
but something similar.
We do.
People have definitely gotten smarter, and there's certain parts of the brain that have grown dramatically.
Yeah.
But I just was reading out, and I don't know if I talked about it with you guys on here, but it's a recent phenomenon, like within the last 300 years, where people can read without talking out loud while they read. Like being able to read just in your head. That is like a new human phenomenon. And Marcus Aurelius was the first
we
one.
didn't talk about this.
We didn't talk about this?
No.
Marcus Aurelius was the first one to have it documented that he had that ability. It was seen as like this psychic power, this like magic. It was seen as magic
Crazy.
that he could read and contemplate without speaking out loud. And now, Jesus, everybody does that.
Yeah,
I mean,
the dumbest people do that. Like,
yeah, literally. You get beat in school if you can't.
But now imagine, all right, so that's just like a common folk or whoever, just your average slave builder or slave worker. You know what I mean? Like now, go fast forward, 1,000 years, and we're in like ancient Greece, like 500 BC. I don't have the number off the top of my head, like in the times of like Plato or something. Take someone like that, bring him in. How much do you think their mind gets broken if you start showing them, like you make them watch Interstellar? Like, what do you think that they're gonna like do?
I think they'd definitely be scared, but I have faith and hope that humanity could handle it.
That humanity can handle it.
One guy,
Not Plato. Fuck Plato. Plato's got it, but humanity, can they handle Plato?
Yeah.
You're kind of falling off, dude. You gotta go take a fucking hit on some smelling salts or something, dude. You're not adding value to this conversation.
I think I'm adding the most value
Don't.
by constantly derailing it and seeing how far
You fell off.
we can go.
I honestly think probably. I think there would be some like intellectual disadvantage for sure, but to like a common person. But I still think that their logic ability, if you could get past all the language stuff, obviously.
Yeah,
But-
assuming that's not a problem.
Yeah. I think it would probably be. There'd be a difference, but you probably can have a decent conversation. What would be most interesting to figure out their logic and their thought process.
Yeah.
Because they had nothing to work off of.
Yeah.
Well, and like the other thing you have to think of too is each culture, their thought process is formed based on their language. So, like, he might have a totally different way of looking at the world when you go to talk to him about Interstellar. Like, he might think
that movie might mean nothing
Yeah.
to them. Like they may be like, because they
If
had
we
no
brought
concept
Plato back,
of space.
I would not want to sit him down to watch Interstellar. Like, I would want to show him, like, hey, look, we have, like, standard units of measurement. We have,
I think
all these cool things.
you would break more through to them by showing them like culture and art than you would science.
Yeah.
There's just science is so built off of each other that it's evolved way too much for
It's so specialized.
yeah, you can't just like understand. You would lose out on any value if you tried to talk about science in any way. I think the key would be talking about like culture and art and
And I think the cool thing,
You know.
too, would be to talk to someone like that, what life was really like.
yeah.
That would be the advantage. I mean, we really don't know what cultures and civilizations were, what kind of rule of law, what was did people really chit chat, gather? Did people really break bread? Was it super racist? Did people only stick to people they know or families? And how traveled were people? Did they stick to their village, or was it really nomadic? And things like that.
Yeah.
Be kind of interesting.
What we can't confirm with the papers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, it'd be wild. Like, imagine you show him Avengers, and you don't tell him it's fiction,
or like
and
better
he'd
yet,
be like,
this happened. You could
This
easily
is-
say
this
this
is
happened,
yeah.
and they would believe you.
He'd
The
be
whole
like,
it's real.
yeah. He's like, oh my god.
But like,
This
what
is-
I would do
If they
if,
would have any concept of like CGI, like, oh my
like
God,
if
we
I
were
could
attacked.
have a version of, say, like Lord of the Rings, written in ancient Greek, and then tell him this is a work of fiction. What do you think? Like, how would that affect, like, how, like something like that? Like, do you think they would
He's
respond?
like,
Like, how would they respond?
Damn,
to,
this shit
something
boring.
like that.
I bet you no matter what, it would probably be disappointing.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have anything to provide us about our world. Because it's not their lived experience. You know what I mean?
Well, and here's the thing, too, is if you do that, if you have Lord of the Rings translated to Greek, ancient Greek or whatever, the story wasn't necessarily written in that language, so maybe it wouldn't be as good.
That was just the first thing I could think of. But
Well, I just mean like any story, if you
there's a
translate it, like I wonder if their language, I don't know anything about ancient Greece, but like the story would be better if it was written in ancient Greece. Like from the beginning, if that makes sense.
I think a better
You
person...
make them watch 300.
Yeah.
It's like, is
Now
this
watch
real?
it. Why we went through all the effort to bring back Plato, and he's just watching movies.
We show him Hercules.
Like, what the fuck are we doing? I gotta watch the Avengers. Look at this really happen. We're just tricking the guy.
I would just take him to museum after museum. I still think that that's the key to like any kind of enlightened conversation. It would be through.
I think the cool one to bring back would be like Isaac Newton, because that's not too far off. It's a couple hundred years and like 200, 250 years, whatever. And I feel like that would be really interesting.
If
to
we're
see
being
After the
honest,
apple.
what he
I think
had to say. And
After the apple.
what's the story of the apple?
this whole
The
apple
thing
fell
fell
on his
on him
head.
and
Yeah.
He
created
invented gravity. I think this thought experiment, I think that it would be much more effective if we only went back like 100 years. A couple hundred years maybe at the most. Like,
Show Einstein a smartphone.
yeah, like that kind of thing. That I think you could be much more interesting.
Yeah.
Someone like Einstein showing him a smartphone and like, what are
We
your
came up with
thoughts
the
on
atom
this?
bomb, but now we have the hydrogen.
Or what are your
bomb.
thoughts on all of Stephen Hawking's work? Like, give him a month to read through everything. You know, like just stuff like that.
That'd be wild. Yeah, I would, with older civilizations, I would more be interested in the truth of their world than showing them. I mean, I would want to show mine, but
I want to show him Star Wars.
yeah. Check
Well, we
out
might
these
be close
lightsabers.
with like having LLMs developed for each major scientist, to where in 300 years we could have conversations with, you know, Stephen Hawking, or you know, people who are alive today that, you know, I know he's not alive, but people who are whoever the Neil deGrasse Tyson, you know, he uploads his conscious into some LLM that figures kind of thinks like him. So then a scientist in 200 years could be like, what does Neil think about this? You know,
Yeah. Be like, Neil.
who are the leading scientists in the world today, you think?
Like actual or like
Actual.
I don't know what constitutes a leading scientist, like their actual breakthroughs or their impact on society.
Like, can we name a Oppenheimer, Einstein, like all these people who worked on massive projects that had dramatic impacts on the world? Stephen Hawking was definitely a guy.
Kip Thorne.
Kip Thorne, but not really for science. More
Well,
of
he
like
won a
his-
Nobel.
Okay, well then there you go. He did.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more about like the impact
I
you
don't
have
know
on
what for.
society. So like, you may not be the smartest guy around, and this isn't to knock because he's a lot smarter than I am. But like, just because you're not the most elite scientist, but like guys like Bill Nye, you know, like what is their impact on science?
Yeah,
as a
and these
whole,
are like
you know,
the science influencers, right? But like, here's the list. Oh, Roger Penrose. Okay, this guy, that guy's legit. Oh, Richard Dawkins for sure. Jane Goodall. Okay, I guess when I read this list, for sure. Roger Penrose is a beast. Alan
Noam
Guth?
Chomsky.
I don't even know who this is. A lot of theoretical physicists.
Noam Chomsky.
Yep.
It's a great name. Aurum. Noam
A
Chomsky.
lot of these guys are old as hell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
This guy's 105.
he's got to be dead, right? I mean,
No, dude, I said alive.
he's
Yeah,
dead.
he died 6 years. 99 years old though.
99.
John Tyler Bonner.
Third president of the United
Biologist.
States.
Wait, was he? No, I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
What?
What?
The third president was Abraham Lincoln. Just kidding.
Do you think so? Were the scientists like Einstein? Well, this one I'm pretty sure yes, but like the scientists back in the day, did the people living in that time know that they were big deals?
Oh,
Like
hell yeah.
the Joe Schmo.
Especially like
Definitely Einstein.
So why don't we know anybody besides like Stephen? Like we named off like
There's so much
3 or 4.
content.
As a
we can name more
society-
porn stars than...
as a society, I think as a culture, society places more value on different things now than they did. You know.
Well, I also think it just shows you how stale things have been in terms of like Einstein didn't just come up with like a new equation that advanced this field. There's a bunch of people that do that like do that kind of stuff or come up with these little things. Einstein reimagined how we see the world and the universe.
Well, I mean,
So
like
that was had dramatic impact for all of academia, basically in the physics department.
I could see what you mean. Like if a doctor cured cancer, I'm pretty sure we would know their name.
Like who cured polio?
dude, the water in this cup just fucked up this table.
Damn.
Looks like milk.
I know. I was like, what's wrong with this cup? Like, what is?
Does Goodwill have a return policy?
How much did we spend on this?
Savers.
I don't even know. $7 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. That stain is bad.
That's crazy. That's just water.
And just
Anyways.
in the hour, 2 hours we've been here.
You know, I feel like those cups leak.
I think they like.
I
This
don't
is
fucking
dry.
know.
I even like dried it on your carpet because like I was always kind of wet, so I kind of did that, and I put it back up, and then that happened.
And the table's dry?
No, the table's wet.
Oh, the table's wet.
Yeah, so I think these cups are leaking. I don't know. But that seems crazy for just water to do that, unless this table's just that bad.
What if the
Water damage. Oh.
Now we'll never be able to flip this.
Yeah.
Have to drill holes.
We're currently
in it.
selling our podcast setup. No, we know, like, if you're interested in a certain field, like, I can name, like, if you ask me to name scientists, I could probably rattle off 25 if given an hour or something like that.
that are alive?
Yes,
Okay.
and active. But what I'm saying is, like, could I ask a normal person on the street, and then pretty much everybody, like a celebrity type, and I guess Neil deGrasse, Tyson is that, but
Bill Nye.
but not because of their theories that they wrote,
Yeah.
but because they're celebrity
Because of their
scientists.
celebrity, stats. Like what's that one guy's name?
Bill Nye, the science guy,
Cox.
Sabina Hassenfelder.
Cox.
Yeah, I think that's his last name.
No, it's Sabina Hofstadter or something like that. I watch her on YouTube. She does a daily science update. She's awesome. She's probably one of the most followed scientists.
Yeah, Brian Cox, the scientist, not
Yeah,
Brian
he's a
Cox, the actor. He's another one that has
theoretical
kind of like a
physicist.
rock star status.
Yeah.
You know.
But again, I don't know what their contributions are.
Yeah.
And maybe at some point it'll be like Stephen Hawking was definitely that guy for our time, but I don't know if we've handed off that mantle.
We don't have somebody else.
Hawking radiation, that was the big thing. The black holes atrophy to death.
You know what? Actually, I do remember this. You know what Neil deGrasse Tyson's number one contribution to science?
Getting rid of Pluto.
Making it a dwarf planet.
That bastard.
That son of a bitch. Which, you know what? It's fair, all right? It's smaller than the moon.
Yeah.
Like, why are we so concerned with that being a planet?
And then they took a high quality photo of it. Did you see it? And it had a heart on it. And everyone's like, "Oh, we miss you,
Pluto."
Pluto."
It loved us this whole time, and look what we did to it.
Look what we made you do. Look what we made you do.
Look what
Ooh.
you.
I think that
Yeah.
signifies the end of this episode.
We've only been going for 2.5 hours.
Time to move on.
Dylan, where can the aliens find us?
They can find us working on the Great Pyramid of America down in New Mexico. we
Sounds
will
like-
be there.
Sounds like a gas station.
The Great Pyramid of America.
This is a theme park. New Mexico.
No, it doesn't have to have any purpose. We're just building a fuck. That's what Dylan wants, okay?
That's
We're
where all
building a pyramid. We're using prison labor, baby.
We're buying it with our $30 million.
and it's not the only pyramid, okay? There's going to be at least 4 others.
At least 4 others, so 5 total. At least 5.
Yes. Sprinkled around the U.S.
Just
The states will bid on the ability to build. I'm on to some guy.
Why would they want to bid on this? What is?
Because
Like, we
the
could
opportunity.
build-
I want to build this pyramid.
we could build way better infrastructure, but no, Dylan wants a fucking pyramid. Okay.
Yes.
This will solve the job crisis.
Kyle said the Egyptians were around by far the longest. America won't survive. So this is how I fix that.
Pyramid building.
What do we have that they don't, or what do they have that we don't? Pyramids.
That's
No,
it.
we don't need to travel to Egypt. We just go down to New Mexico.
Yeah, we build it.
You want pyramid? We build it here.
But yeah, anyways, you can catch us right here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific on YouTube. Come join us, chat, subscribe. Join the conversation right now. We're watching Daredevil every week, which is a lot of fun.
Which is like 10 minutes, and then we go on a rant. on
Yeah,
everything else.
that's how we start, and then we ended up with building pyramids and talking about.
You ended up. Let's be clear.
This was a joint conversation.
It's gonna be like, remember that time we all contributed to the conversation? Remember that time Billy came up with this crazy?
I'm waiting for it.
Build a pyramid?
of building a.
He wants to build a pyramid.
Okay.
What a crazy
let's,
guy.
Let's see. Ready?
Labor for prisons.
So my
What the fuck?
His mind.
my
is
crazy idea was
unstoppable.
pyramids. Billy's was buying a cruise ship.
I think I was pretty tame compared to you two.
I said building a house in Spain.
You did
I said a lot of things.
a wooden house. What did Kyle say? What was Kyle's unhinged moment?
Kyle would buy me that horsehair mattress.
Yeah,
and then
my life.
and then
and
bounce.
then never see me again.
Yeah. So look at the great topics we went to from Daredevil. Come join us for more of that
Every Tuesday,
every Tuesday.
7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Normally it'd say sharp, but
Actually, it's
hasn't been.
Pacific Daylight Savings
Otherwise
Time.
known as 1900.
Just say 7 p.m. Pacific. I'm gonna have to add the
7
last
p.m.
two.
PDT.
And daylight savings off.
All right. Remember, with a good KD, you get the dub.
Bye, guys.
The dub.